Yeah, so it says. We'll see in a second. Wait for this one to come up here. Gotta wait for Instagram to be able to connect to the stupid software. Whether it connects to, maybe it won't connect to the software. Who knows tonight? All right, now I gotta go live over there. Okay, players. Live. John's already here, so he's live. And I need that one right there, and I need this one down here. Okay. Are you ready, Bill?
Let's do it.
All right, then I will count you in with a 3. Who's your mama?
This week on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast, the party's not in the fun house, it's in the TBT house. We sit down with the one and only Christopher Kid Reid. What else? Let's listen.
It's not just any day. It's Mr. Throwback Thursday.
All you kids want to get now about to witness the strength of street knowledge.
How can I be damned? At the count of 3, I want y'all to tell me the name of my DJ. 1, 2, 3.
The poppers pop and the breakers break. Like the fellas say ho and the girls say hey. Give it up for the DJ, Mr. Throwback Thursday.
And now, here's your hosts, Bill Winters and Mr. Throwback Thursday himself, Jamie Robinson.
I gotta hit my special. All right, pay no attention to that. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, TBT Posse, please welcome to the show, the capital KID. Today on the Mr. Throwback Thursday show, we are now too hype. Please give it up for the one and only Christopher Kid Reid.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Applause. Listen to it all. It's deafening.
Thunderous. Deafening. Wait, throw that intro again.
There we go.
Now we
means
can
the
watch
latest Charlie Brown specials coming on.
Yeah, now we can watch the CBS show from the 70s.
Yes. And be happy to do it.
Yeah, I'm up there with you.
I was gonna say I hear
What
that
up?
immediately. I'm thinking, Christmas time is good, but I don't feel happy, Linus.
Yes.
Yeah, those Christmas specials and stuff that we remember so vividly. You know what I mean? We couldn't tape them. We couldn't couldn't rewind them.
Had to watch the commercials.
You gotta focus. So.
Had to watch.
What up, Jamie? What up, Bill?
Chilling. Welcome to the show, and thank you very much for showing up.
The dulcet tones of Christopher Kid Reid coming from the Throwback Thursday show, episode 655, and this one should be fantastic. So,
yes, no pressure.
No, well,
the fantastic part is you. We're here all the time, and we're mediocre at best.
We're a team tonight. We're a team.
Yes.
I will turn it over to you, Jamie. So you know how we always start these things.
Yes, we always start no matter what, no matter who it is. We had Jeff Pearlman on the show, and I asked Jeff the same question, just slightly differently.
Yes, you did.
Where did you get your name?
Right. You asked Jeff Pearlman that?
Yes, I had a different way of doing it. It was a little. I found out some things about him, nicknames and stuff. But yes,
Oh, that's it. Yeah, I actually know Jeff.
I know.
He's a great author. Great author. How did I get my name?
Yes.
Way back in the days, in Queens, New York, East Elmhurst, Queens, to be specific, where Play and I grew up around the corner from each other. In the early days of us getting involved in hip hop and the early days of hip hop itself, we were attracted to it. We were drawn to it. I was drawn to it specifically, and so I wanted to be a rapper. In order to be a rapper, you need a name. You can't just have your regular name.
Keith Murray does it.
I'm gonna say
well, in recent years that has been done, which is cool.
But not then.
at that particular time, you had to have a pseudonym, you had to have a nom de plume,
Indeed.
if you will. And actually, my nickname growing up, even when I was in the Bronx before I got to Queens, my nickname was Cool Out. Everybody called me Cool Out. But in order to be a rapper at that time, you couldn't just have a name. What would make your name more impressive was if you had a title to your name. If you were a king this, or
Yes.
you were a Mr. that, or if you were a count something. So
Speaking of cool outs, yeah.
I was young. I was quite young at the time. I was a kid, if you will. So I put kid in front of my nickname at the time, Cool Out, and I became Kid Cool Out. That was my first hip hop rapping name, Kid Cool Out. Play's name, actually, his original name was, he was quite the ladies' man, even as we were in our early teen years. His name was actually Playboy Mr. C, because
Ooh.
his name was Chris, just like mine was. So it was Kid Cool Out and Playboy. And when we got together and decided we wanted to do our thing together, we kind of took a page out of the Salt and Pepper handbook, short and sweet. Kid Cool Out and Playboy became Kid and Play.
And DJ Casanova went away, and
That's right. That's a whole nother.
and Wiz came.
Yeah, that is a tributary. I don't know if we want to.
No, just
Nope.
That's one of those things off the Amazon. You don't go there. Nobody's ever come back from that. So,
no. And that's why we push them right on through.
yeah, that's the Cliff
There,
Notes
that's
answer.
that's
So,
where people start playing banjos and go, you need to go back to where you came from.
yeah,
You've got to burn it now.
yeah, and it was cool because Kid and Play actually was a great name to describe the both of us at that particular time. We were young, a lot of personality, a lot of fun, and it just seemed to fit us. It fit us the same way Salt and Pepper fit Cheryl and Sandy.
And Sandy, yeah.
That's what it was. So yeah, and it's stuck with me all these years. I'm 62 and they still call me Kid. So
Yeah.
that's I don't know if that's a record.
His mama call him Kid, I'm gonna call him Kid. That's how it goes, right?
It's a weird distinction.
Well, first of all, you look fantastic for 62. So
Thank you,
You know-
thank you. Well, in where I'm from, we have a phrase: even the half black don't crack. So,
It works. We'll carry. We got you.
you know, we couldn't afford oil of Olay or anything like that.
no.
No, I don't know. We just I think that was something we were fortunate to have. Both Play and I, we always looked kind of younger than actually we were. So we ended up playing high school kids when we were like well into our 20s, and
Yeah.
pulled it off.
Yeah. No, I totally believe you. It was Duncan Penderhugh.
Yeah, in House Party we were
or Blade. Sorry, whichever at the time.
whichever, yeah. So we're fortunate, and hopefully we can keep that up. But I live in Los Angeles, so sometimes it's all about movie magic. When these lights go off, I'll turn into Charles Bronson, mummified.
Yeah. So you graduated with an English degree, yes, from Lehman.
Yeah, I graduated with a degree in English literature from Herbert H. Lehman College in the Bronx, New York, which was down the street from my prestigious high school, the Bronx High School of Science. So, at one time, I was a studious person, but hip hop derailed a perhaps future in law, which is what my father wanted. But that's just the way things turned out. But having a degree in English literature, I'm sure helped my writing.
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I was a big poetry fan, big Shakespeare, and all the great poets, English poets of the golden era, if you will. So I was a good student back in the days, and that's what just real curious about stuff. So when hip hop came along, it was so new and different, and just kind of a way to kind of rhythmically express myself with words, and I think that's what I was drawn to.
So my question on that is, of course, back then everybody was talented rhythmically with the words. We got to talk about the high top fade.
Right,
That
right.
set you apart. I mean, everybody knew who Kid was because he's the fellow with the high top fade.
Yeah.
So
Right.
was that a conscious decision, or was that something that somebody told you to do, or was that just something you were like, you know what,
Or
this
is-
looks pretty damn good on me, I'm going to do this?
Or is it something you could never get rid of until you did?
Yeah, well, I think one of the things I think that made Kid and Play resonate with people over the years was things just kind of felt natural, and because this happened back in the days in our, in quote unquote some of the earlier hip hop days, it wasn't about like planning stuff out so methodically. It wasn't about branding
And
or
image consultants and
yeah, it wasn't really about that. It was
yeah.
really based on what we felt. I mean, we dressed and we looked and styled ourselves exactly the way we felt. As far as the high top was concerned, it didn't start as a high top. It just started, maybe much as this one. It was called a
Yeah.
fade. It was just a little bit higher at the top, and you kept it really low on the sides. And at the time, I don't know, I just kept letting it grow little by little. So, and even when it was little, it seemed to be getting a response. So at that particular time, it's the same time that Player and I are kind of, fighting it out in these New York hip hop wars to try to set ourselves apart, to try to get people to look at us distinctively so that they can listen to the music. We were really confident in the music, but we needed some things to kind of set us apart. So we thought, him being darker skinned and me being light skinned, that was a cool combination that set us apart. And then also our styles, the fact that we dance, and then as we kept moving forward, I just kept letting the hair grow more and more, and just kind of going with my gut, and that kind of coincided with our growing as a group and our popularity, and I always kind of trusted in, I knew in my mind that I wouldn't wear that forever, uh,
Right.
but my instinct, I always kind of went with my instinct in terms of stuff like that, in terms of whatever hairstyle I had at a particular time. So at that time, yeah, it was all systems go, the high top, and look, to be fair, a lot of people on the East Coast, a lot of young people on the East Coast, it was a popular
It
hairstyle.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
The fade or the cameo, other groups.
Gumby.
Kane
Yes.
had a great well sculpted cameo. It was a very popular type of cut, but I think it just looked really different on me because of my coloring. Because when I first had the high top, my hair was red because I'd let a girlfriend color my hair. That's a whole nother. We don't want to go down that one.
I've been there.
Again, we're going down the Nile or the Amazon. We're not going there.
Oh, there was a time I looked like a highlighter pen. I did the same thing.
This will be part two. We're gonna call this the lost Amazon tape. Um, but I just think just as a look, it looked kind of really distinct, and it looked like fun, and it looked like you wanted to pay attention to whatever else we were doing. So it was. I think it was pivotal. It wasn't the cake. It might have been the frosting. It might have been the candles on the cake. The cake was the duo. The cake was the
Yeah.
music. The cake was the vibe. The hair was the lure, if you will.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we talk also about the different parts of hip hop. You guys covered three right off the bat. You had your own style. You danced better than pretty much anybody at the time, and the music itself was tight. So you guys were pretty much forerunners in
The
that
old
whole
triple
thing.
threat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you know what? We're old enough that we come from watching people of that era, previous eras that had to do more than one thing. The Sammy Davis Juniors and the Cap Callaways, and a whole host of other performers that acted and sang and danced, and you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I think that was kind of in the back of our mind, like to make ourselves as multi-talented. Play has a great artistic eye, so all of the concepts and the album covers and our clothes styling and stuff, that was something that he had a great eye for and took the lead in terms of Kid and Play, in terms of our look. So we were really self-contained. We never worried about the music because that was covered by me lyrically, but also by Herbie Lovebug, and the great producers that he had up under him at Idol Makers. So and also too, I think the whole Idol Makers group, you're talking about Salt and Pepper, Kid and Play, Kwame, you're talking about Dana Dane, Sweet Tea, Antoinette was down with us for a while. We were a really cool group because we always rooted for one another, we helped one another, and we genuinely critiqued one another so that we could really be the best that we could be. Salt and Pepper, they were the big dogs, if you will. They blew up incredibly.
Right.
They pulled us up along with them. They had us opening up for them, and we used to be on their bus on the road. They were quite helpful with us, and then in turn,
the Tramp video.
Yeah, I mean, we were in we were in some of their videos before we had kind of busted open Shake Your Thing videos, Everybody Get Up videos, stuff like that. And then kind of flipped it as well when Kwame was coming out. We would jump into his videos and stuff. That was kind of the Idol Makers vibe. It was what Herbie Lovebug preached, that the stronger, whoever was stronger at the time, would lend their strength and their influence to the groups coming behind them, and that's what we did, and I think that the level of talent and all the different groups' success kind of speak for itself, and it was we were all just really happy to do it, and like I said, we really rooted for one another. I wouldn't even say, I mean, maybe a friendly competition, but just knowing that whoever's turn it was, everybody kind of had to just kind of just be a part of that. You know what I mean? It was Salt and Pepper's turn to get an album. All right, well, all hands on deck. What can we do to do their thing? And whoever else's turn was up at the time. So, it was a really cool time to be a part of it. And this is all happening at the same time. Hip hop is growing.
Right.
As a music form, as an art form, as a mover and shaker in and of itself, and then throughout American culture.
Yeah, as we tell everybody all the time. Bill and I grew up listening to Chuck Chill Out on Friday night and Red Alert on Saturday night, and that's where we were introduced to everybody. Before MTV Raps came out, before Arsenio was on it, it was Chuck and Red.
Yeah, Chuck and Red, and they were the big dogs as far as New York, the tri-state area was concerned. But there were other smaller DJs. You had the Supreme Team.
Right.
You had, you had Mr. Magic before he came on to BLS. They were
Stretch and Bob.
Pirate Radio, and then WBAU, where Dr. Dre started out, where Chuck D started out at BAU, and Hofstra Radio. Stuff like that, what I mean? So all that stuff was very important too, and they had a lot of those small radio stations around that northeast corridor that were very instrumental in getting a lot of these groups, these hip hop groups, off the ground. Because let's be real, the radio stations themselves, even the black radio stations, they weren't always down with us. They wasn't with it. I mean, you talk about Red and Chuck. I mean, that was a
3-hour block.
Yeah, at a week.
9 o'clock to midnight. That's it.
They were dipping their toe into it. But, by no means did they embrace us totally off that. We certainly had to kind of prove ourselves, which the hip hop as a culture definitely did.
Oh yeah.
So everybody was kind of chipping in. Everybody was just kind of, and because everybody was so excited by this music, I know you guys were as excited as we were. About creating it and going to the concerts, because you had to kind of work hard to do it. You had to, you only, like you said, you only had 3 hours on a Friday, 3 hours on a Saturday. So you had to clear that, or make sure you were gonna you had to tape that so that you
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That
I,
was,
I still got Red and Chuck tapes here.
and trust me, when our records first came out, those were the stations, and those were the shows where we would listen to see if it got played.
Yeah.
Those were the first stations where it got played. It didn't get played in the day parts, not off
No.
the back.
No.
Not in the early days. So you would hear yourselves, hopefully, you be in the mix and you're listening. It's
Yeah.
it's 10, 11 o'clock at night, and with some of these pirate radio stations, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, man.
Right. Yeah.
So we're
Come on. We can do it. We got to make it through to see if we're there.
if you think you heard something, you know what I mean? Just to hear, and you know what? Nobody was really making any money at that time, but just hearing your record on the radio, man, that
Yeah.
was enough to keep you going.
so you can't pay for that.
Sustain you know what I mean? Yeah, and it seemed, I could be wrong, but it just really felt like it, that things were based on merit, and Red and Chuck, Red helped so many groups over the years,
Yeah.
but they was based on merit.
Right. Yeah. He wasn't playing trash.
If you like your record,
was gonna
you would play it.
I was going to say that was the thing I know about Red was that the rising tide raises all ships, but Red was a very discerning ear. If he didn't like your shit, it was not getting on the air.
No, and he would tell you gently, like come back with it. Chuck Chill Out, he was different. He'd tell you this trash. Chuck, but you knew where you stood. Chuck,
Right.
Chuck didn't mince words. He didn't, that's how Chuck is to this day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
And that's why Red is Uncle Red to everyone, and Chuck Chill Out is Chuck.
but Chuck is revered.
Oh yes, no, definitely.
But it was just, it was a different kind of love. It was a tough love.
Yes.
But
Is that James Evans love?
Yeah, both of them were so helpful to not only Kid and Play, but to all the idol makers groups. So all the groups of that era, we all owe them an incredible debt, because they helped, kind of shepherd us to the masses. And when the radio stations really, they couldn't deny the numbers. They were, starting to see what an impact that the music and the whole vibe was making. That's when they started, letting people into the day parts and really kind of embracing hip hop. And they would, and then they would kind of go gravitate toward the groups that they liked.
Right.
So they liked Salt and Pepper. They liked, what I mean? Public Enemy probably had a tougher road to go initially. They liked Kid and Play.
Yeah.
KRS probably had a tougher time. They liked Jeff and Will.
Yeah.
And
then when LL Cool J came out with "I Need Love," they played that one in the mornings.
They loved LL. They loved Run DMC.
Yeah.
Those were the pioneers, and those were the forerunners. But we all the groups, all the different groups, we all supported one another, because we knew, even though we didn't all make the same type of music, same type of music, it was all hip hop.
Right.
Just different styles. And the thing about it is, what was so great about that era, you're talking about the late 80s, is so many of the groups sounded completely different. Like Kid and Play didn't sound like Stetsasonic, that
Right.
didn't sound like Salt and Pepper, that didn't sound like Public Enemy, that didn't sound like Chub Rock, that didn't sound like Just Ice, but together it all seemed to fit. But they were all very distinct. And if there's any critique that I hear today, and I think maybe has a little bit of validity, is that the hip hop of today, I don't seem to be able to discern quickly from
one voice to the
song
next.
to another, or one
Right.
artist to another. I see a lot of similarity, where back in the days I saw a lot of distinctiveness that all fit together.
Right. Yeah. And because back then, biting was a serious crime. You didn't want to be like anybody else. You didn't want to sound like anybody else.
Yeah, and with that in mind, when you're talking about the style and you're talking about dancing, you're talking about hair, we came from an era where we would encourage people to not do what we do. Like,
Right.
don't do this. Like, we're the coolest. We think we're the coolest. You know what I mean? In a non-threatening kind of way. Just like, nah,
Right.
man, we're the cool kids. Don't do
Yeah.
this. this is not. But invariably, what ends up happening is that encourages people to kind of do it. If they think something's cool or a vibe is cool, then they're gonna get down with it. But
Right.
our thing, like I said, it wasn't. We weren't smart enough, or we weren't thinking that way in terms of let's do this so everybody will do it. We were
Right.
like, yo, this is what we think is cool today, right now, and our whole group of friends agree on it, and then that means it's the coolest shit that ever happened.
Exactly.
That's what we're going to do until we decide what the next cool thing is. Because that's what we did. We weren't really affected by anybody outside of our bubble. And that's how we kind of rolled. And it was kind of a quiet confidence within us that we kind of, put forth out into the world. And I think that's maybe what people were kind of picking up on. We were just like, yo, and maybe they did want to be like it because we were telling them, yo, be an individual. Stop looking like everybody else. Dress like this. Dress colorful. Put your hair up. Rock dreads. Rock braids. Do what you want to do. Don't. Why? Who needs shoelaces? That's all
Right.
kid. What I mean? Whatever.
Yeah, you're not running track. What do you need them for?
Who says both your sweatpants have to be to the bottom? Pull one up.
Yeah, why not?
LL says it's cool. So.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, just because we felt like doing it, and that was the freedom that we had, unencumbered by somebody over our shoulder trying
Right.
to tell us what's cool. We had no stylists. We styled ourselves, and that's kind of what we used to say sometimes. We were just like, boom, no stylist. Which became popular later on with like Ray Shremmerd, no stylist. But
Right.
they came up in the era of stylists. We were really no stylists.
Yeah.
They
You weren't
weren't
afforded a stylist.
ain't no
They could
budget
turn them
for
down.
no stylist. No, ain't no budget for that. That was always the answer. Can we get a? Ain't no budget for that.
Nope.
Can we get a? Ain't no budget for that. But can we get a? Ain't no budget for that. You didn't let me finish.
It doesn't
All right,
matter.
All right, finish. All right, can we get so there ain't no budget for that. Okay. All right.
That's the Lost Kid and Play track. Can we get it? Ain't no budget for that.
That's a Herbie. That was Herbie Lovebug. That was his answer to everything. Ain't no budget for that.
Now, you mentioned Herbie, so let's go way back. Let's go to the Sears call center.
Wow. Yeah, you going back.
Well, yeah, that's the show's called Throwback Thursday. Come on, man. It is my name.
You're gonna go back to
So you got you.
kid. Where did your parents?
I was gonna
That,
say,
man, you're
going
stealing
back-
questions. Let me get there.
You are throwing back to before civil rights.
So when you were a gleam in somebody's eye, what
Yeah, like, I was born of an illegal love.
Spike Lee was into it. All right, so
I think they hid me in a manger until the dogs passed by. Then they put me in a basket down the river and stuff.
but it was you play
Yeah,
Martin Lawrence, Salt, Pep,
right.
Herbie,
Yeah,
all in the same,
not at the same time.
but all came through. You were there first. Is that what I hear?
No. No. Okay, all right, let me get this right. Okay, Play was there first.
Okay.
Okay, Play was there first. Then I came there.
Okay.
Then Herbie came there. Then I think Play and I got fired. Yeah, we weren't really good at that stuff.
Yeah.
Then
Not everybody's good at everything.
Then Cheryl and Sandy came on. Then Martin came on. Now, originally, Martin worked at the gas station across the street from the call center. There was a Hess gas station across the street, and he used to, you don't know, there used to be a guy that would come out and pump your gas.
Yeah,
Right?
they still do in Jersey.
In Jersey, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only way you get gas
But
in Jersey.
yeah, but back then in Queens and College Point, that's what he did. And then I guess Martin probably lost that job. Probably cussed somebody
Probably.
out. If we know Martin. And then he ended up coming across the street and working. So at one point in time or another, all, what is it, 6 of us? Kid, Play, Salt, Pepper, Martin,
Martin.
Herbie. All 6 of us worked at this particular Sears call center. and we all got fired at some point in time. Thankfully.
Luckily, yeah. Thankfully for all of us that you did.
Yeah, it was a tough job. It was like phone work, just trying to convince people to buy something, a maintenance agreement on their appliance that they just bought. You know what I mean?
Right. I just
You know what I
got it
mean?
yesterday. What's wrong with it?
I mean, we were selling them coverage that they kind of already had. You know what I mean? So my heart really wasn't kind of into that. So, and they had like, there was a board to show how many,
How many you sold?
Yeah, so that,
Like
I
like
knew
selling cars.
I wasn't gonna last long. So while when I wasn't on the phone, I was kind of all the jobs I had at that time, I was always had my notebook nearby. So when the supervisor was somewhere else, I had a job at a bank one time, and when the supervisor wasn't over my shoulder bothering me, when she went to the other side of the room, and that's when I pulled out because I'm writing with fury. I'm like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. I'm writing, I remember writing "Do This My Way" at this bank where I worked, and I was like, God, this job sucks.
I did it
But
for 20
that
years.
was,
I can vouch.
well, that was I mean, that was my motivation. It was an after a school job after I got out of college. Then I would I was coming up to to this bank to work, but it was horrible. So I mean, at that point, I didn't like school and I didn't like the job. So that was a motivating factor. Nobody liked the jobs that we had. Play worked at the airport. He worked for Avis Rent-A-Car. He would drive that big bus that picks you up
Yeah.
to the lot. One of them big
Good
buses.
times.
Oh yeah.
Well, one time, because we live right near LaGuardia Airport, just like some blocks from there. So one time, I'm at my house and I hear some honking outside, and I look, the dude's got the bus.
Big Avis on the side.
You know that's some shit we would have done, Jay.
Yeah.
You know that's some shit we would have done.
Not the little van.
No.
No, he got the bus. I'm like, dude, what are you? I come downstairs. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I was like, yo, you want to go for a ride? No, I do not go for a ride. I said, dude,
Did you just show up in a limo? No.
you off the airport, dude? That's a stolen bus, bro. Like, he said, yeah, you're right. I need to take it back. Yeah, you need to take it back.
Sure you don't want to ride though.
I don't know. He just he was adventurous like that. I said, man, please take that bus. We just kind of getting going and started. I was like, don't we gonna get, you know what I mean? We gonna get, our journey is gonna be nipped in the bud, man.
It's gonna be a hell of a story, but if you're in jail, we can't do this.
Put the rental car bus back. So, but nobody liked. I mean, Herbie had been in school for sound engineering, and once he learned as much as he thought he needed to learn, he got up out of that and just started doing it for real. The Salt and Pepper, Cheryl and Sandy, they went to school at Queensborough Community College, and I think they got their associate's degree there, if I'm not mistaken. But they weren't, and I think they were both trying to be nurses, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm sure they would have been wonderful nurses. But that's
I'm sure
just not
Pep's been a nurse for Halloween a couple times or something.
Yeah, both of them sexy nurse, But that's just not where our that's not where our dreams were.
Right.
Our dreams were doing this. Once we kind of got a taste of it, once Herbie kind of showed us, he was our leader. He kind of showed us what some work in this direction could give us. And so, like I said, sometimes it wasn't a big deal. Sometimes it was only hearing your record for 30 seconds in the mix one night a week. But that was enough to kind of keep you inspired and keep you going. And let's just keep pushing forward and do these other jobs and fulfill these other responsibilities so that we could keep doing what we really love to do as we continue to explore. At this point, we still don't really know that you could really have a career out of it.
Right.
I just think we were young and we were just trying to postpone being, jobby job having adults
Right.
as long as we possibly could. And then, thankfully that we never had to look back.
Right. Yeah.
Moving forward, even if it was a small step, it was a positive step. And
Or a kick step, if you will.
I tell people this all the time, especially the young people. don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged if you feel like you're not making progress. Even a small step is a step in the right direction. It's
Yeah.
progress. And sometimes some certain steps will be bigger than others. Sometimes just standing pat and holding your ground is important. So that's what we were doing, and look, we were never underestimate the optimism that you have when you're a young person, and we didn't have. We didn't. I don't want to sound like an old timer, but we didn't have this around us all the time to
No.
distract. You know what I mean? We really were able to really focus on what it is we were trying to do, and we were able to listen to our leader, who was telling us, this is what you need to do to get better at this. This is what I expect of you. Look at our competition. The competition in New York and in the hip hop game was very, very stiff.
Yeah.
these are these are our peers, and but they were our competitors, as well. Um, and um, you know they that that meant the bar was high. For you to get up out of New York, you were going to have to really, really be good. So
Right.
that's the standard, and that's what Herbie expected of us, and he ingrained that in us so much so that we expected it of ourselves, individually. So
Right.
that's what kind of toughened us up, but we loved what we were doing all the time.
That's important. Bill, when we started this show, when you still had to explain to somebody what a podcast was,
Right.
when we started this show, we said we would do it for as long as we enjoyed doing it. The minute it was no longer fun
And it
is
became
is when we
work.
hang it up.
And guess what? Look at you now,
12 years later, 12 and a half, here we are.
right? Then it sped by. I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it really did.
Yeah. No, and guess what? To your credit, we applaud gentlemen like yourself, because you're right. People looked the other way when you mentioned the podcast. Now podcasts are they rule the day.
Yeah.
Artists like myself. And you know what? I don't mind it at all. I'd rather it, because um you know dealing with the previous the way of doing things. It had good points and it had bad points to it.
Right.
But look, the way the landscape is today, it reminds me a lot of when we started, when we got in the game, 30 some odd years ago. It's reaching out to individual podcasts, and kind of streamlining and specializing and focusing in on your audience, especially as an older artist. That's where I think guys like you can really we can work very well together. So I applaud you guys for what you're doing. You started it at a time when people were kind of talking a lot of junk about podcasts, like they weren't up to par. Where's your network? Where's your this and that? Well, where are the
Right.
networks at now?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
MTV is crumbled, and it was
Yeah.
crumbling long before it turned to dust. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
some of the most powerful broadcasters right now are podcasters, and
Say
started
Joe,
and
as much as
podcast.
whether you love him or hate him,
Mhm.
Joe Rogan is making so much money right now off of his
Yeah.
show that if he writes a check, the bank bounces.
Yeah.
Shout
he
out
did
to your co-host or your co-star Robin Harris for that line.
Yes.
that. That's right.
That's a Robin Harris line.
Yeah. We're
No,
big Pops
sure.
fans.
Yeah, and I've known Joe a long time, Joe Rogan, from the stand-up game,
Mhm.
and always been a great guy from the Fear Factor days. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he started in that podcast, people after having been on television like he was, and being known as a stand-up and everything, I remember when he got into that field, there were people out there looking down on it, like, oh, well, yeah, he's got a little podcast, and,
Yeah.
stuff like
It's
that.
like, he's got a little blog,
Yeah.
whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, look, there's always been phases like that. Look, I can remember there was a time, if you remember, when those networks, the CW and the WB came out, when those things first came out, people were looking at them like they were crazy, like, because you weren't CBS, and you weren't ABC,
Yeah.
you weren't
Yeah.
NBC.
But even when Fox started,
Even when Fox started,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you would look at that and be like, oh, well, that's not the big leagues.
Yeah.
Well, it became the big leagues.
yeah.
And so these things kind of repeat themselves, a little slightly different, but I've seen this before. And what do they say? They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. So,
There you go.
hold on to that one.
Yeah.
I don't know who said that one. But
You did. You did. Good enough.
You did.
I don't know. Ask AI. They'll tell you. I stole it from somebody. I'm not gonna lie. I just can't remember who I stole
You
it.
didn't steal it. You sampled it.
Yeah, there you go. Boom.
Oh, don't use that word. Now he's got to clear it. Now he's going to
Remember
get
that.
sued.
No, he did it here. Now we got to clear it.
Oh, I
Yeah,
soon
now
know
we
it.
gotta
I
clear
soon know it. I soon know it.
All right. Well, you brought up Do This My Way before. One of the biggest things for me always has been being part of a kid and play adventure. All right. So, like when we were young, teenagers, and we would hear be part of a kid and play. I'm like, dude, I always wanted to be part of a kid and play adventure. It just sounded like something everybody wanted to be involved in. Looking now, you did a '90s cruise this year, right? Was that this year?
Yeah, that was early this year. That was January.
So
January. Yeah.
you're still doing stuff. You on a freaking cruise. For fans listening now, what does a kid and play adventure look like in 2026 compared to when we were hearing it the first time?
Yep. Well, the Kid and Play Adventure is it ends in the early evening.
Just so everybody knows, kid is out west. It's still early evening for him. We got him here.
The Kid and Play Adventures start earlier and end much earlier
Understood, definitely.
than they used to. Yeah, I mean, when we were young, we were known for. We had a phrase we used called "breaking day," and that's how you knew that we had a good time. When we were out, this is when the sun came up.
Right.
And this was like early, way back in the days, like before we were famous. Way before we were famous. And we just and having very little money and stuff like that, but we just found ways to kind of amuse ourselves and put our little something together, and and it's something that we got in trouble for too. So it would always amaze us later on. It would always really be funny to play in myself how much art imitated life, because when we end up doing movies like House Party and so many things that we ended up doing as Kid and Play artistically was stuff that we'd already done dozens of times
Right.
in our youth. And I think maybe that's why it resonated with people, because it didn't really look like acting, because it really wasn't, especially something like House Party. We were just kind of going off of, we've been in this situation before, like,
Right.
this is easy. The adventures they start earlier, they end earlier, they're less blurry. We'll remember more of them in the days after. Some of our adventures back in the days tended to get a little blurry.
Yeah, understood.
Fine. But you know what? Everybody came home in one piece, and we had some great times. And it's funny, like when we all get a chance to get together. Everybody's like all over the place. I'm on the West Coast, plays on the East Coast. Herbie is always somewhere in the Caribbean. You never know where he's gonna pop up. Like he's like Haitian Waldo. You never know where he's gonna pop up. But on the rare occasions when we all get together, like last year in November, we were all able to get together out here in Los Angeles because Salt and Pepper were getting put into the Rock and Roll Hall
Rock
of
and Roll Hall of Fame, yeah.
We were all out here at the same time, myself and Play and Herbie, Herbie's little brother who was very much involved with us, Salt, Pepper, Spin, and it was great for everybody to kind of get together once again to uplift our sisters and just be very proud of them and help them enjoy their well-deserved moment. And it was just great, just kind of kicking it and just talking about all these great times that we had. Like I said, we spent a lot of time on tour buses together in the early days, and those are some great memories that we have. And one of the things that we like to say, and look, I don't want anybody to get me wrong or misinterpret myself or any of my colleagues. I love hip hop. it's been my girl, and I'll never make a record saying I used to love her.
Yeah.
Relationships are hard. You know what I mean?
They don't understand things in Chicago like we do.
I'm not going. And I love Common, but I can't.
Mm-hmm.
I can't quit her. And I appreciate it. I'm making my business. I really, really try to try to stay down with what some of the youngins are doing. That's how much I love hip hop. And one of the things I do know is that they have an opportunity, and they're doing it. They're making way more money.
Oh yeah.
They have opportunities to make way more money than we did. But one thing I'll put up against that is there's no way in the world that they're having more fun than we did. And I'll stand on that. You know what I mean?
And to go along with that, I will say that their fans are not having as much fun as we had with your music in that era.
And that would explain why, and this is through a lot of the artists of my peers, this is why we get young people following us. They have an ability. That's one way this thing comes in handy, because they look back, they pull us up, they see these videos, they see these movies and stuff, and they look and they say, man, these people are having fun.
Yeah.
They're not standing around, they're interacting, they're dancing.
What is a pajama jammy jam? I need to know.
They're having fun, they're interacting. They're mating, they're trying, they're failing, but they're trying again. And you know what I mean? That art, that dance, if you will, that seems to have been lost. I mean, I have kids now. I don't understand how they socialize. You know what I mean? I do, but I don't.
Right, but you don't. Yeah.
And it's far different from the way that we did. So I say all that to say, that's one of the beautiful things that we have forward to when we do get together, to look back and be like, wow, man, what a journey. And the fact that our journeys are still continuing. Salt and Pepper just started this tour night before last with En Vogue and TLC.
And TLC, yeah. They're coming here.
So that's the iconic tour. So yeah, please, you need to check that out. That's going to be great. And the phone's still ringing. So that's
yeah. Well, that's anytime there's these we call them prepackaged, all these throwback shows that come to town. And it's people who don't even know that they're on the same show as these other people. They show up, they do their part, they roll out, and like, oh, I ran into this guy there. I didn't even know he was going to be there. But we tell people, we read about shows like that are going to be in Iowa and Minnesota, and we make sure that we put it out here, because like those are the shows that you need to support. Like that is the best time I've had in my 50s, is going to shows like this, because everybody else there is also in their 50s, and they're all out there to have a good time. When we were younger, some of the shows we went to, you had to worry about some of the people there. They weren't there to have a good time.
Oh yeah, that's over with now.
Now all those people have grown up, and they're all like, everybody's here to dance, everybody's here to rap the same songs, everybody's here to have a good time.
Oh yeah, all them troublemakers, they're either dead or in jail. They do with them. Everybody,
they did not survive with hip hop. They
did not. They took a left, and we ain't seen them since.
Yeah.
Right?
Nope, they were visitors here, and
No. I mean, look, to your point, we've been on that I Love the 90s.
Yes,
tour.
I've seen you on the I Love the 90s tour twice.
So many years. It was literally the tour that wouldn't end.
Yeah.
And I think we're taking a little. Well, we're taking a little bit of break, but that's that tour is never too far away.
No.
But it was
and Fresh in Peace, Rob Bass and Coolio, who were also on that show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but we had so much fun on that tour over the years, and we, trust me, the fact that our audiences were having a great time as well, that wasn't lost on us, and it was fun watching them have fun, watching us have fun.
Yeah. And I would tell you that we always had fun, and to this day, I get Bill to come down to Virginia, because for some reason we get more of those shows in Portsmouth and Norfolk and Virginia Beach than he gets in Hyde Park, Poughkeepsie, Newburgh area. I don't know why, but we do.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, you got to go. Unfortunately, um, they don't go everywhere. So you kind of have to you got to meet them where we're living these days.
Yeah.
But it's always a good time. Um, there's typically we'll have meet and greets. Prior to the show, you get to meet the fans
Yeah.
and stuff like that, sign stuff, and you know what I mean. They're coming up with album covers and
Yeah.
Funko Pops and stuff
Yeah.
like that signed, and it's once again it's a really cool thing. So
Speaking of
and
which,
just
And the
give you
cool.
guys a little sneak preview of something that we're working on now with our agency, Universal Artists, um, is playing myself, and also it's almost like an evening with Kid and Play, where it would be at um, I don't know. Think about the coolest, biggest movie theater in your town, and we'd have the crispiest 4K version of House Party. So we were all watching that together, playing I for a real meet and greet Q&A session, and playing I probably doing maybe 3 or 4 joints after that as well. So that's something that we're setting up to jump in 2027, and it's something that we're really excited about. And it's us trying to meet some of our audience, where they live, so to speak.
right?
And it's something that if it's something that's successful, you could do it over a couple of nights. Maybe
Yeah.
one night, maybe but there's you could do it in different types of venues, all this different cool stuff they have with these screens and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
what it would be an evening with us and watching that classic film House Party, getting to ask playing I whatever questions they've had all these years about the film and about Kid and Play, and then getting home at a decent hour.
Right.
Yeah. A matinee.
We think about the sponsors. We're gonna have to get some sponsors. What I'm saying? Like,
Kevin Smith's been making a living on that for years.
yeah. So you know what I'm saying, and then it's a real interactive kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I said, we'll get everything in. We'll check all the boxes. You get to see us. You get to see the crispiest version of the film. You get to kind of kick it with us, and then we'll do a few joints as well. You know what I mean? We'll have a DJ there, knock out some, give you some of that hip hop flavor, and then you be home, and you know what I'm saying? You be home for your local 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock news.
Yeah, man.
Love that.
It's 10 p.m. You know where your children are. You know what I'm saying?
Atlanta.
And that's us acknowledging. You know what I mean? We can't have our fans out at midnight like
Right,
these
yeah.
guys. That's not realistic.
No.
I have
I-
always said once we
Night
get to
vision's
this,
bad.
once we get to this age level, pulling an all nighter means something completely different. When we were
No,
young,
it means
pulling
you got kidnapped or something.
pulling an all nighter when we were kids. You're out all night, like you
Totally.
said, break a
Breaking
day.
Yeah.
Now, pulling an all nighter for me means I slept all night and didn't have to get up to piss once.
Right.
True.
So,
I got
so
that.
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's my all nighter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So John brought up a Fresh Flicks Live. So off topic, but on topic. Once a month, used to be once a month.
Yeah.
I'm behind and it's my fault. Once a month, we watch a hip hop movie. In this same format, we're here right now through Evie Mux, and we invite the patrons of the show to come and watch it with us, and we'll put it up on the screen and we'll talk about it. It'd be a live commentary, like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 almost.
Yeah, you used to love that. Sure.
Yeah. So we do that and talk about the movie, and we've seen some horrible movies because there were some bad ones, we've seen some great ones. And then the next week on the show, we review the movie that we just watched with everybody so that they know what we're talking about.
Okay.
So, maybe we watch a house party
What's the
with
last
Kid.
movie that y'all did? What's the last movie y'all did?
God,
Oh my God. No.
Hammer.
The last one we did was Please Hammer Don't Hurt Him, the movie. You didn't know it was a thing, did you?
I didn't know it existed.
We didn't either.
Was
It
that
is
a
less.
concert film? Was that a concert film?
No, it was less than an hour.
What was the
It
story?
was like a long form video.
Wait,
with
he
the-
asked kid asked the question, what was the story? So Hammer comes back to his hometown.
Okay. Coming back to Oaktown.
Yep. Because there is a drug dealer in town who's dealing drugs to kids. And Hammer's there to shut it down. How does Hammer make him pay, you might ask? He makes him pay financially to put on a Hammer concert in town so that everybody can learn that drugs are bad and to stay away from this guy.
So he gets the drug dealers to finance that?
Yes.
Well, you know, that's not as far-fetched as you might think. You know,
But there are 6 Hammer music video performances during the...
Yeah. But
Yeah.
that's kind of a throwback too. That sounds like an Elvis movie to me.
It really does, yes.
Really did, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Like we talked to Sweet LD and she doesn't even remember being in it. That's so...
That's there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this. You know, we've known Hammer a long time. We've done, oh my God, so many shows with Hammer, and respect him immensely. But you know what? I probably did hear about that. But he was such a big star at that particular time.
Yes.
Like that's the kind of stuff that was suggested and offered, and you know that's what you did. And also too, anybody that knows Hammer and knows his background, you know, Hammer was kind of a tough guy himself. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah,
and
I've heard stories.
I was
Hammer
gonna
had
say
a
we've heard
reputation
stories.
in Oakland that was, you know, he chose a different path, but
Right.
you know, I mean, he was always
Affiliated.
he was always thug adjacent.
Yeah,
What
Bat
was
Boy to
And that-
Thug.
Jamie, what was it? Reverend Pressure or something that he played as well?
Yes.
There's
yeah.
10 to 15 minutes soliloquy as this Reverend
Well,
character.
Reverend Pressure, I kind of remember now. That's kind of making me ring a bell. Yeah, because he played that too, right?
He did, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you say ring him? Oh, ring a bell. Sorry.
I think I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
But you know what? That was a, you know, like I said, being such as big a star as he was at that particular
Right, right.
time, those are all these different things that were being offered and thrown his way. You know what I mean?
Hammerman.
Yeah. Hammerman, and Hammerman was after the Kid and Play cartoon.
It was, yes. I was getting there.
I was gonna say, we were about to,
And guess what?
I think
And
the
we
wheels
were
were-
on NBC. We were on NBC. Hammerman was actually on ABC the following year, I believe. So I mean, we were very glad to have been the first hip hop artist to have a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah.
Very disappointed when it got canceled. But
Me too.
What we didn't realize was, you know, I remember us really taking it personally and stuff. But that was part of NBC's whole theme at that time. If you remember, that's when they switched over to TNBC. So they got rid of all of the cartoons. It wasn't just us. We were taking it kind
Right.
of personal, but they wiped out cartoons, and everything after that was Saved by the Bell and all those kind
Right.
of
Right.
teen shows. So we kind of got caught up in that sweep. But yeah, the Hammer got offered that cartoon stuff just like we did. You know, we had our Marvel comic
I would
book.
say, did he have a comic though? Yeah.
Yeah, we had a comic, but we were on the verge of a doll with Mattel, but then when the cartoon got pulled, then that got pulled. But I do believe Hammer ended up with an action figure. I think he did do that as well. So those were the things that crossover artists like us. Those are the type of stuff we were getting offered. You know what I mean? Those are some were good choices, some were not as good choices. They were all very they were all financially enticing.
Driven. Yeah.
So you looked at it from that lens, but then also too you look. But some of those things were things we had always dreamed about. I mean, us being a cartoon. Oh my
Yeah.
God, crazy.
I mean, you grow up on Saturday morning cartoons.
Exactly.
You know,
Us having our own comic book, that's crazy. That's a Marvel comic book. That's
hell
crazy.
yeah.
So we little stuff like performing on Soul Train. When we did stuff like that, there's no way you couldn't tell us that we weren't successful. Don Cornelius let us dance down the Soul Train line. So
That's
that doesn't
okay.
happen. Okay,
No, no. I would tell you that was a dream of mine.
Don Cornelius was not a big hip hop fan.
No, he was not.
He kind of relented and had hip hop groups on and stuff like that. But he really liked Kid and Play. He liked us. He liked us. Like Salt and Pepper, stuff like that. So he always treated us really, really nice. And we were on the show several times. And I think one time, we asked, or probably Play asked. Play was always the guy. He'll ask. He has no shame in his game.
Well, yeah. If you don't ask,
If you don't ask,
you don't know.
right?
It's
I'm-
much
I'm-
easier to ask for forgiveness than permission.
There you go. I like that. I'm taking that one. But yeah, he got us, and we got an opportunity to dance down the Soul Train line, and which is not something that they let our artists that performed on the show do. They just didn't.
No.
And
Come
so
on, do your stuff. Get out.
that was a big thrill for us as well. So, you know, in talking about the journey, a journey that's still unfolding, that's why it's great, to still be doing it because, I still get excited about stuff. I get excited I get excited about, getting together and looking at some of the really cool things that we've done over the years. But I'm also excited about the future and you know what I mean. I never wanted to be like a celebrity that's been in the business for a long time and nothing that's new opportunities don't excite you anymore. I mean,
Right.
I want to be like those old crusty,
Jaded.
yeah, jaded. That's the word I was looking
Yeah.
for. Because what I've gotten to do over these decades is been like a dream. It's been a dream job, and and I still look at it that way. And you have to work hard to maintain it. It has its ups and downs. You're not around for 30 plus years, without some peaks and valleys.
Right.
And the thing about the valleys is the valleys test you because you're going to go through them. But how do you recoup and recover and get back to where it is you want to be? So,
Yeah.
what an amazing journey it's been, collectively with my boy Play, individually, as myself doing my individual endeavors, and then looking forward to the future as well. Like I said, there's some really cool stuff that Play and I have planned together. Play has a bunch of interesting stuff that he does on his side, on his documentarian side. I'm still doing my stand up. I've got new music out, so this is my health is in a great place right now. So the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades.
Gotta wear shades. Yeah. So John is asking me if I have a kid and play Super 7. It's like up here is my Kwame Super 7. Why isn't there a kid and play Super 7 yet? There is Funko, but there is not a Super 7.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that. What's
Oh, there's a Salt and Pepper Super 7. Where are
not,
they?
I'm not
Hold
into that. Who makes the Super 7?
Super 7.
Yes.
They come out like this. I got Pete and Search.
Oh man, I'm not hip.
Oh, you need to have your people find out because you guys need to be involved. Because I got two Kwames up here. I got the white with the black polka dots, and then the black with the white polka dots.
Okay. Yeah.
Over here, I got De La.
Yeah, Kwame that's his field of expertise.
Oh yeah, he's toy guy.
He's Mr. Toy Tuesday and all of that stuff. So,
He used to do Saturday morning cartoons too.
I'm gonna yeah, he used to. That was a
Yeah.
good vibe too. I'm gonna hit him up because
Do that because you guys need to be involved. Like I said,
he's got the plug. He's the plug.
so when we were talking about the Saturday morning cartoons, how much input did you guys actually have, and did you ever have to fight the way that hip hop was portrayed? I know it wasn't it was a Saturday morning cartoon, so it was aimed at younger people. But did you ever have to fight and say, no, we need hip hop represented this way, even though it's a cartoon?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, we weren't doing the voices.
Right.
And
And for those of us who listen to the music, we knew that.
right. But that actually turned out to be a good thing. We talked about us doing the voices, and then they said we sounded too old. because the characters were kind of
We're
us. We were coming
like
up.
kids.
Yeah, and that was cool because what ended up happening was that allowed us to get some of our friends in to do those voices. So we had Martin Lawrence in there doing 2 voices. Tommy Davidson came in there, did a couple of voices as well. So that ended up working out for our friends that we kind of pushed forward. Um, no, we were very, very happy with the way that it turned out. There were some really good people involved. Our old dear friend Suzanne DePass was involved with the making of that cartoon series. And anybody that knows anything about Suzanne DePass, she's back in the days of Berry Gordy, early Motown days, and she's just an incredible creative person, has been a mentor of ours and mine for many, many years. She used to manage me for some years as well. So with her in charge, we were actually on tour at the time. It's not something that we really worried about. And if you remember, we were also doing the film parts that they would have at the beginning and
In the
the end
beginning, yep.
episode. So we kind of knew what each episode was going to be about, way before it aired. And so if there was any problems, and maybe any problems would have been very, very slight and just kind of just slight adjustments and not ripping up the floorboards or anything like that. We were very, very happy with the group that we had assembled to help us put it together and produce it. So no complaints. We were very happy the way it turned out, and also we were able to incorporate a lot of our hip hop friends into some of the live action wraparounds. So
Sequences, yeah.
yeah, we had I believe we had MC Light. I think we had Cool Mo D. We had some of our rapper friends in there as well.
Mis-
So it
Mr.
was
British Knights, Mo D.
yeah, it was a win-win. Quick story about Mo D. Mo D is the one hip hop peer that you can count on that will call you on your birthday.
Really?
I swear to God, he call you on your birthday. He calls me quicker than my children call me. I have 3 wonderful kids. They're adults now, but over the years, I couldn't always count that they would be the first to call. I could always count on Modi. I just want to think is I see it from Atlanta. I be like, God, damn, it would be Mo D on the phone, and it's what I mean. It's just something that he does because he's very thoughtful, and just since you mentioned him, I'll say that because
I would tell you,
Mo D is somebody that he was in the game before us back in the days. He's somebody that
right.
we completely respect, and me, as a rapper and as a lyricist, he's somebody that I modeled, myself after in terms of his clever and really really wise wordplay. And he was one of those guys that it was just a thrill to become friends with somebody like him. So
I am
was
obviously not friends with Mo D, but I've
yeah,
I've been to 3 different hip hop shows with Mo D, and I have been next to him. That
oh
dude is one of the biggest hip hop fans.
yeah,
When he is in the audience,
yeah,
he
yeah.
is 100% involved in the show.
No,
Nothing else matters.
he breathes it, man.
He
He
does.
breathes
He's really cool.
he breathes it, man.
Yeah. We had Groove on the show, and again, Fresh and Peace Groove. He said him, Bilal, and Chill inspired a lot of the actual stories in House Party, but the studio didn't want them as leads.
That's
I
true.
heard, and again, just I hear things because that you guys felt that you did not do well at the audition, but there was like a moment outside the studio where a crowd of high school kids pretty much won you the roles.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. That happened. I think we had been meeting with not just Reggie and Warrington Hudlin, the writer and producer of House Party, but they're the ones that took us to New Line. New Line was putting the film out, so they kind of wanted
Freddy
to know,
Krueger Cinema, yeah.
right, Freddie, yeah, you know what I mean?
At the time, yeah.
Yeah, this is really high brand of cinema we were putting out. But they were the studio of choice at that particular time.
Yeah.
And so I guess they wanted to meet who their potential stars, leads might be. And I can remember as one. We went in there a couple of times. I remember the first time we went in there. I don't know that we were that comfortable. We were kind of scrunched up on a couch, and we read a couple of stuff. Reggie and them had prepped us a little bit. We read, I think, a scene or two from the script, and then they kind of asked us to improv a little bit, which I thought we did. But I mean, I don't know. I didn't think we knocked it out the park.
Right.
Kind of.
We didn't quite nail it, but
Yeah. So we're heading out to leave, and I think one of the not one of the execs, but one of the junior cats on the staff, I think, walked us downstairs. Yeah, I'll walk you guys downstairs. He walked us down, and this is right on 14th Street. This is right where New Line's offices used to be, like 14th and 8th, if I'm not mistaken, 8th Avenue. And we're just hanging outside, just shooting the shit before everybody kind of goes their own separate way, gets in their cars and whatnot. And school had just let out. It was a little bit after 3 o'clock. And there's a high school that's a few blocks down. I forgot the name of it, but it's a few blocks down. And so there's probably maybe 310 or 315 at this time, and the cats are coming up. And this is 1989.
a number.
We're like the hottest thing in the city.
Yeah.
Like really, really hot. Our videos are all over Video Music Box and Yo MTV Raps and everything like that. We're very, very popular. And the crowd started going crazy, man. I mean, so much so that I think we went back into the building. That
Run
kind of
away.
that kind of vibe. And who knows what the powers that be talked about when when they
Right.
got amongst themselves. But it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt that happened. So yeah, that worked on that. I think that it didn't hurt that we got that after we thought we did what was a lackluster kind of thing.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, I don't. There's some noise going on next door. There might be some
It's
construction.
fine. They'll be all right.
Kind of, kind
I
of tweak out. Get it done.
Noise.
Oh, somebody take a shower or something.
Don't they know what we're doing here?
Jesus.
Jesus.
I live in a very populated area. So, I'm a man of the people. So
Yes, you are.
I tried that living in like a remote area, big house kind of thing, and I hated it. Nobody would come visit me, man.
So you're way the hell out there. I'm not going out there.
Oh man, I had a house in New Jersey that I bought, and man, I try as I might, I couldn't get any of my friends to come. When I had a little condo in Queens, everybody was coming by all the time. Everybody was la la la.
I know you're going to hit the Jersey button.
I don't know what you're talking about, man.
I get this crib in Jersey and nobody wants to come, and I say, man, why don't you come out, come check me? He said, man, you live in Keeblerville, man. I was like, what?
Look, anytime anybody mentions Jersey, I got to do this.
And whenever I smell cheap cologne and raccoons, I know I'm in New Jersey.
Fucking New Jersey. I'm going to New Jersey next week. I can't say anything. I'm going to Atlantic City, but
The area was very nice, but it was a little out the way from where I was previously. And then I just wasn't. I'm not a remote kind of guy, so
yeah,
when
you do have to be a special kind of person to be a remote kind of guy, though.
yeah, I mean, plays like that, plays more private like that. That's kind of his vibe. So when I came out here to Los Angeles many years ago, I've always kind of gravitated toward the areas that kind of remind me of New York, like busy parts of LA. So
So I was watching like House Party 37. I don't remember which one it was. It was one of those.
I'm only taking responsibility for 3. Okay?
Look, you were in another one though.
I'm talking about the ones we starred in.
Okay, that's fair because those are the good ones.
Yes.
I don't. those are the ones that we starred in. Those are the ones that I'd stand behind. You know what I mean?
All I want to say is I watched this movie and I was not a fan of the movie. I don't remember which one it is. It's two young dudes.
Yeah. That's the last one that came out.
Not the new one that was just in theaters.
Okay.
It was the one before that was on TV.
Okay,
And like you and Play played like producers at the end.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That one's called House Party. Tonight's the Night.
Yes. So I watched that.
They filmed that. You know, they filmed that in Africa.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
There's another reason why we weren't in more.
I will say though, you had the greatest part of the entire film because it was rough. It was a rough watch. But I watched it because I saw that you guys were in it.
Right.
And it comes to the end and the two dudes get their deal and they get to record and they go in the studio and they're about to do the kick step and you go, don't do that no more. That was the greatest thing ever. I was like, look, no, don't do that. You can't do that. There's not the Funky Charleston is not for you.
I forgot that we did that. I forgot that was the part in the movie.
And that was the last scene in the movie is just kid going, don't do that no more.
Yeah, that was yeah. Well, we had some good friends of ours. That a good friend of ours executive produced that movie. That would be Doug McHenry, who actually was one of the producers on House Party 2.
On House Party 2?
Yeah. And so he asked us to be a part of that, and so that was kind of the reason we did that, and it was just a little something at the end of the film,
Right.
which was cool. And then this last one that LeBron James,
The LeBron one?
was part of producing. Once again, we're big fans of LeBron, and we understood that they were trying to, kind of do House Party their way for a younger audience,
For a younger generation, yeah.
generation, and they did what they did with it,
And that one wasn't as bad. I mean,
it was cool. I mean, we went to they had a premiere out here, and Play and I actually went to it and showed love and whatever like that. They have a right to want a house party of their own.
right.
the- and our generation is always going to feel the way they do about the ones that we made. So
Yeah.
it's not a competition. It's not a thing. That's why if we lend our talents to it or our endorsements to it, that's not that's not a big deal because we're all kind of part of this everybody always talks about the MCU, the Marvel Comics universe. This is a house party universe. Okay?
Yeah.
We're a part of it, and we're part of the older generation, but we represent House Party and what we did with it and the great times that we had and that the fans still enjoy, and
Yeah.
that like I said earlier, some of the younger fans that have gotten a chance to kind of go back and watch those, they like them too. There's a
Yeah.
lot to
I'd like to think, I don't know, obviously. I'd like to think that the people who see the new LeBron one will take that and go, wait, this is a remake? Let me go back and check out the original. Like, I did that with Cape Fear.
Sure, why not?
I went back and watched the original Cape Fear because I had seen Cape Fear with Robert De Niro, and I was like, oh, this is a remake? Let me check it out. So,
Yeah, sure. And some people do that, and that way you can enjoy both of them or all of them. Go back and watch them all. So yeah, I mean, look, when we first got the opportunity to do House Party, that was amazing in and of itself. The fact that it became kind of a franchise, and we went on to do 3 and be a part of some of the other ones. That's another amazing kind of thing. So
yeah.
to be a part of something like that still brings people joy and happiness and great memories. So
And yeah, TLC and Immature and
I mean, some really great people that came through those house
yeah.
parties, man. So it became symbolic of that.
Yeah, I believe House Party was kind of like a rite of passage. What, you haven't seen House Party? What, are you stupid?
Yeah, I mean, as along with a lot of really good movies of that era. And,
Oh yeah.
and good music of that era too. So I mean, I say this all the time, and I stand by it. Having coming up in that era, I'll take that 5-year period. I'll call it from like '88 to '93. I'll put those 5 years up against any other 5 year period in the history of hip hop. The greatest artists, some of the greatest moments that last and resonate to this day. The groups that came up during that era, the music that was recorded and enjoyed in that era, 88 to 93, 88 to right before the gangster rap hit.
Yeah.
I'll stand by that, and I feel fortunate that we were a part of that era.
And I said before gangster rap took over because Just
Yeah, no,
Ice and Schoolie D were
before it took over. Yeah, before
before the shift. Yeah.
before the tectonic shift.
Yes.
And that's cool too, because that's what being a viable music form. That's what happens sometimes. You know what I mean? It moves in different directions, and it goes where it goes. And then, but I've always felt very, very confident in the structure and that ecosystem, if you will, of hip hop. It's always gonna self-correct. It's always gonna move kind of back to where it should be at a particular time.
Yeah.
So, and there'll always be something in there for fans to enjoy, even if it isn't the stuff that's right in your face at a particular time. There's a kind of hip hop and a vibe of hip hop for everyone, and it's in there. Sometimes you got to look for it a little bit further, then you got to move past some other stuff to get to the kind that you like.
That you like, yeah.
But it's available, and there's new stuff and new artists coming out every day. I mean, it's almost impossible. As much as I try, it's hard to keep up with all the new artists that are busting out. But I still enjoy it. There's some cats on Instagram that I follow that are always kind of putting everybody up on like this is new. This is out new this week, or this is new this month.
Yeah.
And like I said, I try to catch up, but it's difficult. But when I do, I enjoy it, and I'll jam on it, and I like to know what's going on, and just in terms of the fact that I'm still a creator, that I'm still creating music for myself and with and for other people.
Right.
I feel like I need to know what's going on now, and what are people's ears listening to and vibing to right now. That's important.
Right. It is. But when I talked to you a couple weeks ago, and one of the big things is you and other artists from that same era make music for people who grew up with your music. You're not doing kid and play music. You're saying, okay, I have grown up. I've gone through all this stuff. I know you guys have gone through all this stuff. This is where I am now. You are still my target audience, but because we've all grown up together.
Right. Well, and that's what I'm doing.
Right. That's all I'm talking about now.
Yeah, that's what every OG artist, if you will, that's the choice that they have to make.
Right. They should.
What is it that you're talking about? And what is it and who are you targeting?
Exactly.
Are you targeting the audience that grew up with you? Are you trying to get young listeners? Like who is it that you're targeting?
And that's a tough thing, because if you are a classic artist, what are they calling it? Adult contemporary? Is that what they're calling it now?
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. No, it's it's awful. Like, I think Speech has embraced it, but nobody else has.
Yeah. If you call it AC rap.
Yeah. But you're talking about these artists who are, I don't want to say being true to themselves, but being true to their experiences, who are obviously, because of their experiences, targeting people like us. People who are of that age, of that era, who came up, have possibly gone through the same things. Sure. Compared to people who are of our era, of our age, who are trying to reach back and do something that the kids today are doing. Not trying to reach the kids necessarily on a different level, but trying to be like Sexy Red or Megan Thee Stallion, or that style, which doesn't work. It doesn't work for people like us listening, and it doesn't work for the kids because they know it's fake.
This reminds me of the whole Steve Buscemi walking in with his skateboard. Hello, young people.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, well, like I said, each artist has to make their own,
Right, right.
on their in terms of their material and the ears that they're trying to catch. Um, but to your point, Salt and Pepper shouldn't be trying to sound like Sexy Red.
No, and Salt's killing it right now with the stuff she's releasing.
Yeah, I mean, she's creating the music that she wants to and look, look, there was a time when if you aged out of this thing, like Menudo, you
yeah,
know, like
Yeah.
rappers just kind of as the older you got, you just like went off somewhere and
yeah.
died.
You went out to the farm and
Yeah, or whatever, or just never
upstate.
heard
Yeah,
from him again, down south and never heard from him again type stuff. And that doesn't really have to happen anymore. There is an audience out there for the OG artists, the AC rap artists, if you will.
yeah,
If people like myself is doing it, Salt and them is doing it. 2025 was a great year for those artists
yeah,
that legacy artists, if you will,
yeah.
to
That's what we always call them, classic hip hop artists.
classic hip hop, and they had success, and some were Grammy nominated, and
Kane
all.
and Nas and everybody.
Yeah, exactly. So that's an option now, where I guess it hadn't been previously, and I think little by little, more and more, it's coming around that the younger generation is slowly starting to realize that it's okay to look back and embrace the history of hip hop. And, it's something that I used to joke around about. I was like, the youngins, they should check us out. I used to tell people, said, I'm your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. So, you need to, you know what I mean? Ask some of the cats that some of the biggest stars of
Of today.
era, and a
Yeah.
lot of people tell you, and these are some of some of the hard rappers. When playing, I've met some of these hardcore rappers, and they tell us what Big Kid and Play fans are.
Yeah.
We like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah, man, man, they never. You're like, holy shit, that's crazy, man. You know,
Yeah,
it,
good music is good music. I mean, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
and I think with us, I think with Kid and Play, it was like more than that because we could reach you so many different ways. You know what I mean? We
Right.
could reach you musically, we could reach you visually,
Hmm.
we could reach you comedically, we could reach
Yeah,
you from the movies. Never underestimate. This is back when people were still going to the movie theaters. Never underestimate. These big, huge, 10-foot tall images on a movie screen.
yeah.
It really have an impact on young people and on people in general. So we came up in an era where people were still going to the movies and droves to
I
see
just went and saw Spider Man last week.
the day. Yeah, yeah. I mean, and apparently, with some of the stuff that's coming out, it's making a return, and a lot
Yeah,
of young people are getting into going to
right.
the theater now, which is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Some of these things just come back around. People are tired of
Hmm.
watching. Sometimes people get tired of watching stuff on their phone.
Hmm.
My daughter that lives
Sitting on
in
the couch.
Yeah, my daughter that lives in New York tells me about some great club that her and her friends go to, where all the DJ does is play vinyl and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Yeah,
oh, okay, great. Like,
yeah,
like yeah, it's so old, it's new to them.
Hmm.
yeah.
All these worlds can collide and can coexist, and I think that's what's great. That's what's great about the landscape of today. Once again, it's kind of like getting back to the old days. If you're an OG artist, an AC artist, and you want to put music out, you're your own record label now. You
Yeah.
got to put in the work, get you a little crew together. That's what I did for the music that I put out this year.
Hmm.
It's been fun doing that because I don't have all these different levels of a record label that I have to go through and
Right.
wait. Back in the
Yeah.
days, we were trying to change the lettering on an album cover. Well, 10 people got to weigh in on that.
Right.
That's
Hmm.
just like
Now it's you
yeah, it's me, and
and your designer.
yeah, I can make any decision that I want, and I'm on the ground, and I've done that so far. I've been in situations where my original intention was to go with this song and this video, but the way things shook out, I was like, no, like I can just reverse it. I can go with this, and then come back with that. So I'm appreciative of the versatility and the flexibility that it gives me. And the goal now is to get it into people's ears. And thankfully, I have an audience that's out there. I'm not starting from scratch,
Right.
which is a great
It's
advantage.
huge.
And so now it's about what the material is. The songs the song that I put out earlier this year, Tin Man,
Tim,
seems to really have resonated. I'm dropping a new video, uh, I believe on the 19th, which is actually makes a year since I
since
got my
the
heart transplant,
surgery.
uh, which we're calling the heart anniversary. And
Nice.
and you know what? And I want to take this time. I want to make sure I didn't want to forget to tell you guys. One of the reasons why I wanted to come on with you, I kind of stumbled onto you guys. I wasn't really hip, but it kind of came across my feed. You guys were kind of reviewing my song Tin Man.
Yeah.
And the thing I liked about you guys was, not only did you like the song and you kind of appreciated OG doing his thing, but you guys really got exactly what I was trying to express lyrically. You know what I mean? So, and to me, that was just refreshing, just to see, oh, okay. And one of the things that artists has to go through when they're creating, and before they're putting stuff out, is like you wonder, like, am I crazy? Because I think this is
Is
great.
is
I think this is really thoughtful, and I think that
are
I
the
mean,
masses going to consume it the way I did?
yeah. Or does the emperor have no clothes? You know what I mean?
Yes,
Exactly.
exactly.
Kind of what it goes through your mind. And when I dropped the original Tin Man, I was getting a good response, but you guys really got it. And some of the other podcasts and reviewers started feeling, they were feeling the same way. They first of all, I appreciate that you took time to get into the lyrics, because I come from that era where lyrics are very important.
Yeah, as do we. Yes, that's
Yeah, and as you that I found out later. And but yeah, just the vibe of what I was trying to express with the lyrics, you guys really got it. And then obviously, you understood that I tried to use it as an opportunity to not only talk about what I had been through health wise, but also give a shout out to some of my peers, that didn't make it. Some
didn't
of
make it. Yeah.
soldiers and soldierettes. It seemed like a perfect time to do that. And and with that, like I said, on the acknowledgement of my heart anniversary, we're going to drop the video of that original Tin Man, directed by my good friend, the Key, who actually did the remix for Tin Man, which was the first video that we released. So I kind of reversed it. I released the remix video.
You Missy Ellioted it.
Yeah, just the way it just shook out. And people really liked the remix video. They liked the remix, first of all. It was a little more up tempo, and people dug that. And they really dug the video. It was at nighttime. It had a little different kind of vibe to it. Um, but I think people are really going to enjoy the original Tin Man and the video. It's slower, and I think people will really be able to kind of get into the lyrics a little bit more, the way that you did, along with a video to accompany it. So once again, I wanted to make sure that I tell you how much I appreciated you guys doing it, because you guys are part of that process. Like I said, having gotten up or off the couch to rejoin the fray,
Yeah.
you want to make sure you're not sounding crazy, that you're not sounding dated, that people are understanding and getting where you're coming from lyrically. And you guys were part of that contingent that let me know that you're not crazy, and now
Maybe I am doing it right.
yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, they like me. They really like me.
Yeah, I mean, we loved
So
it. Our listeners loved it too.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, the posse was like, this is good
yeah,
stuff.
you know
Yeah.
what? This is the thing, and this is the thing we always have to be careful of when we're like reading comments and stuff like that, because there'll be 99 wonderful comments, and then that 100th one will just crush your soul.
Yep.
You know,
Yep.
it's always dangerous when you're reading the comments. But yeah, I've been getting some great feedback. And one of the comments I got, and I had to pass it along some of my peoples that I worked with on the project. Somebody said they really liked the song. They said it was a 10 out of 10.
Ah,
So
well done. Well done.
That's actually pretty clever. You know,
it was a 10 out of 10. I said, I might have to use that. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Sample it. Sample it.
I'm going to soon know that. But yeah, man, it's great to be, back in the arena, so to speak. And I think what I'm trying to do next, what I'd love to do next is like get on one of these late night shows and do the joint, maybe like Kimmel or Fallon.
Fallon's big on hip
I
hop.
was gonna say,
Yeah,
Fallon will
yeah,
get you.
I know. Yeah, and I'm trying to get to Quest too because I think it'll be great, especially for somebody like Fallon that really is a big hip hop fan,
Right.
because we're paying homage to to the cats during the course of the song.
Yeah.
So and I think that'd be something really great production wise that they on Fallon they'll lean into it. They do some really nice production stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
stuff.
It's not just, yeah,
Kimmel was
kids
great.
here.
Yeah, Kimmel is great. They just kind of put you on which is cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I would take that, but I do know Fallon because he's got Quest behind him. They really lean into the hip hop stuff, and you can
Yeah.
tell in the production of it. They really put some thought and effort into that. And I think
Right.
the Tin Man, the song would be great production wise,
Hells yes.
visually.
Yeah. And I'm sure Questlove would 100% want to be involved in it.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt.
Yeah.
I look forward to that. But it's summertime, man. It's summertime. Everybody's off.
Everybody's off. Yeah.
Direction. So it's something I'm really gonna really double down and move forward on for the fall. So that's what I'm looking toward, and also too creating some other music too. I got some really good ideas and some really great people, music people that I work with. I know the formula works now, and
Tested the waters.
there may even be some kid and play music down the line as well.
That's what I'm talking about.
Talking about.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
the Hip Hop Museum in New York is going to be opening soon.
I heard.
Yeah.
We are asking this of the last couple of people we've talked to. We actually asked this of DOC a couple weeks ago. We had Doc on.
Okay.
If people walk into the Hip Hop Museum, what is the one thing you want them to see that immediately says kid and play?
You know what? I think that you would only have to see like a silhouette, and I think people would know that it was kid and play.
Like that Too Hype era
Yep,
logo.
that Too Hype era logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or even what we did with Class Act. Remember the Class Act was the back of our heads.
Yeah.
And what they did on the billboards, like out here in Los Angeles, they had the billboards, they had the back of our heads, and then my hair came up out of the billboard. The billboard ended here, but my hair kept going. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Pretty cool billboard. So I mean, I think we'd be known by our silhouette. If they saw some pajamas up there, that would
Yeah.
definitely kind of ring a bell with people.
With Tony.
And, stuff like that. But I mean, hopefully we'll be represented there in some kind of way. I mean, they have a tough. I'm sure they'll have a tough job of curating all the different.
Well, we're friends with the curators. If you want us to put in a word.
Yeah, I don't. The thing about it is, I'm always very optimistic, and I leave that up to the people whose jobs that is. And I know, I know, I know what kid and play means to hip hop because I know what the fans have told us over the years.
Right.
Right.
That's been my barometer. That was my barometer in '86, and it's my barometer in 2026. And so there's been times over the years where I won't even lie, where maybe there were lists or other things that Kid and Play weren't included or named, and I felt some kind of way about it. but the wiser part of me thinks about it and says, well, that has nothing to do with how
Right.
um, how the fans feel.
No.
No.
That's how this group of people feels. You
Right.
know,
Or how this magazine or how this
yeah, this
website or
this yeah, a group of tastemakers
yeah.
uh, feels,
We've always said there is no top 5 or top 10 because there is no criteria to measure that. It is whoever your favorites
sure,
are
sure,
is
yeah,
who it is.
yeah, and those questions are really difficult if you're really a hip hop lover, you know. So
Mhm.
the hip hop museum, I'm hopeful that it will be completed and it will open. There's
Hmm.
so much to share with the public, and I'm very confident that we'll be represented in some kind of way, and if
Yeah.
not, it will be represented and acknowledged for our absence. Somebody on there.
True. Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
wish
No.
I
No.
wish them the best. I think I saw something that came across the feed next spring. I heard.
Yes. Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
That's the
So,
last I heard.
yeah,
Yep.
there you go. Godspeed.
But I'll talk to Pete and Dice.
I was
We'll
gonna
take
say
care of
we're
that.
tight. We're tight with Pete and Dice.
Yeah,
That's good.
They,
I'm good to see. Let them
we
know.
got you. Now I want to ask you. Okay, there may be a little echo on your guys' end, but when you hear what I'm about to play for you, I want to know how it makes you feel today. All right, I just want you to listen.
Machine Mozart, Amadeus never had it this me. Well, boys, are you down for a symphony? If you all raise hell and yell, just rock
So, so,
All right.
so taking you back,
Yeah.
throwing it back, if you will.
Yeah. I remember that. That was Rock Me.
It was a little
That was when I
Falco sample there.
Yeah, which is kind of reminiscent of what cats were doing back in the days.
Yeah,
They would kind of try to leap on a track of a pop tune
yeah.
and
Well,
try to
and
ride on top of
also,
it.
what was the other one? She's a skeezer over my Adidas.
Yeah, she's skied over my Adidas. That's when we weren't even Kid and Play yet. We were
No, Fresh Force. Yeah.
Sutra Records, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Which was
I have the 12-inch here. I also have Salt and Pepper Showstopper on Sutra here.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Sutra was well known back then because that was a Fat Boys label. That
Yes,
was
it was.
was on.
It was also the Disco 3 label.
Disco 3 before the Fat Boys.
Yeah.
Right? And come to find out later, one of the famous labels that was part of the seven. There were like these seven labels, but yeah, they were all mobbed up and stuff like that. So
Well, yeah.
nobody got paid or anything like that.
No.
You
But
know,
you got out there.
they put those records out, yeah, and actually they played those songs on New York radio for a time. But those are the records that we made and learned how to do better. Those were the pre Herbie Lovebug records.
Right.
So I think by the time we got it kind of came back around and worked with Herbie. I think we were both ready, ready to take a next step. And so yeah, I mean, sometimes you listen to records, you go like, wow, man. But those records are important. Those are
They are.
those are the baby steps you take to learn your craft, and until you're ready. I mean, nobody starts at the top of the charts.
No.
You got to learn how to do this thing. And the thing about being an entertainer of any sort is, you have to learn and make mistakes in front of everybody. You know,
Exactly.
it's not like any other, given career or trade where you
Where
can kind of learn and do your thing in private or
like you write a book and one person read it.
yeah, not amongst the public. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
right.
Even as I'm learning anything else I learned when I started doing stand up comedy, you got to learn in front of people. You don't get good at home.
Yeah. You in the mirror is not great.
the same thing. The same thing with with making music or any kind of art that the
Yeah.
public has to decide on. So those records are very very important, and we had fun doing those as well. It's just that we were destined for greater things.
Yeah. But it's good to be able to have something like that
Oh yeah.
on vinyl to look back and go, hey, man, remember when we did this? You remember this time when we were doing this and blah, blah, blah before?
Mistaken, that was 80. Like that was like 86.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's how long we've been doing this thing.
40 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. And I'm only 49. That's like,
Yeah.
So how is it that the guy who is known as the most famous high top fade in hip hop end up composing a jazz heavy instrumental theme for an HBO show? Real Time with Bill Maher.
oh well, I had a lot of help, and
Well, that's good.
a lot of help. I got a chance to work with a really good friend of mine, cat by the name of Shivani Scott Parker, and his partner at the time, Buster, and Buster and Shivani was who I collaborated with on the Bill Maher theme, and wow, that's been running in some form or fashion for.
Ever.
And the funny part about that is, they've had like other artists, like play it over.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing about it is, I remember when they first did it, I kind of once again I felt like some kind of way. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Yeah.
I remember telling Bill, I was like why, why are you trying to, because they tried to make some changes to it, and the fans were coming back, they saying they didn't appreciate that, and I told them, I was like, what are you trying to
Why?
say? I was like, remember New Coke? You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
what do
Crystal
you?
Pepsi. Some.
So I was like, and but once again, the people spoke, and then they made those adjustments back to more of what we had all created, and then since then, when they've had groups, even groups like Green Day redo it, you can tell it's still our song, and we're still
Right.
credited as the composers. But yeah, I did feel kind of weird. But once again, my good friend Shivani, he calmed me down. He's like, I mean, and then
Relax.
that's another thing that you have to learn. When you're a songwriter and it's not your song, you're not the artist. Once that song is sold, then you don't.
Right. Doesn't belong to you anymore.
It doesn't belong to you. The interpretation of it doesn't belong to you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's something that, usually I'm performing what I've created. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I
In
have
your way. Yes.
I have a hand in that. But when you're doing it and you let the you let the dove go, the dove got going to fly wherever the dove
That's
flies.
true. True.
And that's something that I had to learn with things that I've created for other people. That happened with the theme for Martin, for the Martin Lawrence show.
Mm-hmm.
He ran that for many years, and then he decided he wanted to change it and had Take Six do something with it. And I didn't like that either. Like that either, but I was like, it's his show.
Right.
What he
It's not like
wants.
his first time in a recording studio or something. That's
Yeah, it's funny. The only two television theme songs, well, two of the main ones that I did were two guys that are very good friends of mine, Martin and Bill Maher.
and Bill
They
Maher.
came about because we were friends. You know what I mean? I asked him. I said, "Yo, you gotta." As far as Martin was concerned, I knew. He had this new show at Fox. He showed me the pilot. I was like, "Yo, do you have a theme song for it?" He says, "Nah, I don't got one." So me and my guy Stephen Kitt got to work on that, and provided him with that, something that was very memorable for many many years.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Bill Maher. Bill Maher was leaving. He had left ABC and was coming to HBO, kind of a resurrection of sorts.
Right.
I asked him, did he have a theme song? He did. He played me what he had. I thought I didn't think it was that good. I said, well, let
It's
me and my
garbage.
yeah, Chuck, chill out. It's trash.
Yeah.
Kind of sounds like when Pumps heard ours.
But it wasn't that good. I thought so. I just asked them. I never asked my guys to pick it because I did it. I, I
Right.
I I always say give me and mine an opportunity to compete.
Right. Yeah. Throw our hat in the ring. Yeah.
That's all we did.
Yeah.
We came back and gave him something and gave Bill something that was better, something that became synonymous with his show for all these years. It's a song that he comes out to when he performs live, which I urged him to do for many years, that he does now. And and I told him at the time, I said, you're the only comedian that has their own theme song specifically crafted for them. This is
Right.
yours. No, no, they don't think of anybody else when the
Yeah.
song.
This is you. It's
Yeah, it's not like George Lopez coming out to Lowrider. That's not
right.
his.
Yep.
That's not his song. It's
That's
not.
a song he adopted.
It's not
Yeah.
these comics coming out to any other song. That's not their song. This is your song. We've given you your song, your identity, your theme. That's what, and that's just once again, that's one of the other crazy different things that I've been able to do on this journey. I've done a little bit of it all, and it's all been great, and they all work different muscles, and it allows me to work with different people over the years. I'm not always working with the same people, which is always exciting and a challenge, and that kind of just keeps you motivated and keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what that was all about. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Thankfully, you can see that Martin theme on all those reruns, and
Yeah.
Bill Maher's still going strong to this day, and yeah, we're rocking.
Yeah. Well, we had, I know Lyons here, and he's been talking about UTFO. His good friend Kangle. We had Kangle Kid on the show when he found out that he was ill, and he shared some stuff with the posse. You've spoken out about chalking up your initial heart failure symptoms to just getting older, and the wear and tear of the road.
Yeah.
For somebody listening, who might be ignoring similar signs, what is one thing that you want them to know?
Wow. Yeah. Thank you for teeing that up. It's important because as we get older, and as our audience gets older, uh, yeah, there are certain things that you kind of go through on the day to day that you can kind of chalk up to getting older, uh, as I did. Um, just not being as peppy as you once were, or just being
Right.
a little out of breath, or you can always kind of palm it off on some kind of thing. Man, I'm gaining a little weight, or my feet are swelling up. Oh, well, I fly a lot. I fly a lot, and
Right.
you got to watch that, and tell your lady to stop cooking with all them sauces. Lay off or whatever. Just little things. I mean,
Yeah.
looking back on my situation, it just seems to me that my congestive heart failure seems to kind of rolled up on me really kind of incrementally. And now that I've kind of gone through it, I'm going back in my mind, and I'm thinking back to certain incidents where I wasn't feeling so great, and I'm thinking, man, that maybe that could have been where things started, or
Right.
that was a part of that road that kind of contributed to where I ended up. Um, and I just wish that I had been a little bit more mindful. But you're ripping and running. You're hustling, man. We're all
Yeah.
out here trying to. None of us are. We live a nice life, but none of us are rich enough to the point where we can stop working. You know what I mean?
Right.
And we still enjoy doing it as well.
Right.
So, learning what I've learned, I just kind of urge people: don't just brush off stuff that you think means nothing. One of the things that I learned throughout this process was that early detection of anything is your best method of fighting whatever it is you may have. And these doctors are so skilled these days. They can literally work miracles if they know what they're dealing with in a timely fashion. That seems to be what the deal is. Now, if you get to them and it's too late situation, then there's nothing. Then there's going to be nothing that they can do. So, in terms of me, the shortness of breath that I was going through, the kind of changes in my body, the constantly being fatigued, that just wasn't like me. But I was just kind of chalking it up to just getting older, and that's not
Right.
necessarily the case. You don't have to necessarily slow down, but even when you think that it might be nothing, just get it checked out, or just get in the habit of getting checked on a regular basis. Some people don't even get checked once a year.
Right.
Some
Yeah.
people haven't been checked in several years.
Yeah.
And for a variety of reasons. I understand it's crazy. People out here hustling. They don't got time for that. They don't got time to be down.
Hmm.
Their insurance isn't up to
I was
par.
going to say, as
There's a lot
somebody
of
who works in the medical field, a
yeah,
lot of it is insurance. A lot of it is my doctor's booking out 6 months in advance.
Yeah.
I'd love to get looked at, but by the time I get looked at, that ticking time bomb's probably
yeah,
already gone off.
yeah. Or you're going to urgent care, and no disrespect, that's not that's not that's care
It's not the best care.
after the
Yeah.
fact. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it's after the fact. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
It's called urgent care for a reason.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
work in an urgent care right now.
Yeah.
Basically, what we are is, you remember the old show MASH? We're kind of
Mm.
like meatball surgery.
Yeah.
You come to us, we
Yeah,
fix you as quick as we can,
as best you.
as what we can do
Yeah.
in limited resources. I mean,
Yep.
where I work, we're lucky enough we have an X-ray machine. Not every urgent care has an X-ray machine, but
Right.
we have that.
Which is crazy.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
so you Bill, you understand exactly where I'm
I
coming
do.
from
Absolutely.
in terms of trying to be gain a little foresight into what and just listening to your
Hmm.
body, and not trying to stiff arm it and kick the can down the road. You don't
Yeah.
want to do that. You don't want to do that because let me tell you, I was so fortunate that it finally got to the situation in my particular situation where I was like, look, I had been trying to figure out what was going on. I'm trying to, I still can't figure it out. I figured maybe I'm partying too much. So all right, so no smoking, no drinking. You know what I mean? We're
Hmm.
locking down. We're trying to figure out what this is. Still no change. Still feeling the same kind of symptoms.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Feeling
I saw
awful.
I saw the Ragonk comments stop. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just couldn't figure out what it
Yeah.
was. And then one day I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna go down to the hospital. I live very close to Cedar Sinai Medical Center, which is well known for their one of the best hospitals in the country, particularly
Yes.
Yes,
of uh,
absolutely.
of cardiology and things of that
Yep.
nature. So I said, look, I don't know what's going on with me, but let's check everything out from head to toe, and whatever it is, let me know, bad news or not, and over the course of of a few weeks, they came to this conclusion that said, hey, you have congestive heart failure, and it's I think initially they put me on kind of like a pill regimen to try to see
Hmm.
how that would go, but it didn't go well. It got worse.
Right.
Hmm.
So they got me off the road. I was about to go on a road trip for a kid and play gig, and they said, don't take that flight and come on in.
They said,
And
"Don't do that no more."
no, don't do that. Hey, and that's when not only was the diagnosis made, the diagnosis was further made that the only course of action that was going to fix
Save you.
that was going to save me
Yeah.
was a heart transplant. Not a pacemaker, not any bit of machinery, or
Yeah.
I
No, you
mean,
have reached end stage.
yeah,
Hmm.
this is the direst of things.
Yeah,
And so
this
my
is
point
critical
is,
mass, is what this
right,
Yeah.
is.
critical mass, and so my point is, I was very fortunate. I was very lucky. I was very lucky that I got a heart, and that I got a heart in a very comparatively very short period of time.
Yeah.
Look, and at any other time, I might not have been that lucky. You won't be that lucky.
Right.
You
Yeah.
won't be that lucky.
There are not just hearts laying around that match everybody.
And all the stars align. Bill, you know about some of this. There's so many of these things you got to be you look, you're older, so because you need a heart, but you can't be all broken down old.
No.
Your
Right.
lungs got to be good.
No, because they won't waste a heart.
They won't give you a heart if the rest of you is broken up. If your
Right.
mind is shot, if your lungs are shot, your kidney, your liver, all of that stuff was good. Much
Yeah.
to my shock and surprise,
Yeah.
they told me your lungs are clear. I said, "You're lying."
Really? Mine?
They said, "Yo, all right, sure enough." So you know what I mean, and the right blood type. All of these different things.
Yeah.
They check you out. It's a board of like 80 different people, 80 different types of doctors and psychologists, and they check you out from the rooter to the tutor, as they say,
Yeah.
in terms of deciding whether or not you can get this heart, and that's what happened. And I just I'm gonna have to find a more concise way of letting the public and my fans know. Do not wait. Don't take what you think are just regular signs of getting old. Don't take those things for granted. Don't think they don't mean anything, or just get in the habit of some regular kinds of checkups.
Take the advice of Mo D and go see the doctor.
Go see the doctor.
The doctor, and well, not for the reason he's talking.
Not for his reasoning. No, I said take his advice. That's all I said.
That's why
saddest words.
Mo should redo Go See the Doctor and have it all about like cardiology and
Yeah.
stuff that old folks are going through.
Yeah.
He could do that, and all his stuff would be accurate. Cardiology, cardiology,
He could.
cardiology,
He could educate some people. No, as somebody who works in the worst words to hear from anybody who is sick is, "I should have."
Should have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hindsight is 20/20, and nobody knows your body better than you do. If something feels off,
surgeon's fair. Now you found your ass down to urgent care.
don't make me start.
Damn, look, it ain't fair.
Don't make me start to write something because you'll have the worst urgent care rap ever heard.
Oh, yours would be too dark, Bill.
Yeah. Bill, just facts.
One line.
No fun, just facts.
Nobody made it.
We don't want to tell him about talent testing, Jay. I told you about that.
Yeah.
Told you that your lungs were clean. They ain't even got no X-ray machine.
All right.
Oh my
so,
God.
so did
But I tell you what, but moving forward,
yeah.
I'm aligning with some really great organizations. I'm aligned with Cedar Sinai. I'm aligned with the American Heart Association. I'm working with a group called One Legacy, which is involved in procuring organs and making sure that people get the organs that they need in the Southern California area, and particularly people of color, which there is a very
There is a dearth.
a dearth. That's the word. A very, very low supply of that, and it's very much needed. So these are the type of things I'm doing moving forward. And look, it sounds weird, but even if it takes being humorous to get people's attention in order to kind of turn their minds to something more serious, I have no problem doing that. And if I got your attention, it's because I care about our fans, and I care about the public, and I don't want them to have to go through
And
what I went through, because
Right.
it's what I went through was a very very fortunate, very lucky path, and it doesn't always go that way.
It doesn't. No.
think
I wish
think
it had been
seriously
that
as well. People need to think seriously as well about making an anatomical gift when they pass. Sign that
Yeah.
organ donor card.
Yeah,
It's on my license.
Do not.
yeah.
look,
It used to be
they
that
say
easy. Yeah,
When they talk about people with a lot of money, they say you can't take it with you.
yeah, because you can't.
You can't take this.
No,
I mean, you
these
can,
are
but
things that
why
I'm learning
waste
now.
it?
These are the things that I'm learning now.
Yeah.
You know, if one person donates their organs, you can save up to 8 lives
Yeah.
with the various things that you can donate, the various organs, the various tissues,
Hmm.
eyes, things of that nature.
Oh, I
Can
dread
really
the person who gets my eyes. Holy shit! What a fucking practical
that's
joke
a
that
hard
would be.
pass. That's a hard pass.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
They need
Yeah.
to get your glasses too.
a hard pass.
You're gonna get my eyes, and they're gonna look, and they're gonna be like,
No,
"Fucking."
your eyes come with a cane and a dog.
I look at a road map. I see potholes and joggers. That's some
Thanks,
bad
but no
shit.
thanks, though. We don't
Yeah.
need them. We don't need
Yeah. Yeah. People need my eyes like
I would
a
rather
fish
be
needs a
blind
bicycle. Yeah.
than have your Kermit the Frog eyes.
You very well may be.
They don't want my eyes either. My eyes are horrible too. So that's they don't need them. But yeah, it's something that I'm a part of now, and that's something I'll be doing in the future, urging people to become organ donors. Once again, it's a brand new world that I'm getting to be a part of. Meeting lots of new people, knowledgeable people, and I'm trying to learn from them so that when I do move forward public speaking about these things, that I want to be as well informed as possible. I was on ATLA recently with one of my cardiologists, and I'll always defer to them. I always like to have somebody that's a doctor or way more qualified than
Right,
I
right.
Right.
to really verify the things that we're trying to let people know about. And that's part of my life now, and I really appreciate it, and I get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And what I'm finding out and the feedback that I'm getting from the fans, be it from some of my interviews or just the music I've been putting out, people are reaching out and saying, "Hey, man, I'm going through a similar situation," or I had a transplant 4 or 5 years ago, or I've had some different kinds of heart issues. I'm part of that world now, and
Right.
so it's another way for me and the fans to connect. I appreciate it. I want my fans to be around as long as I am,
Right.
and
Yeah.
so it's
Just
something
I want
new.
them. Want them to be around forever, but I also want them to be home by 10 o'clock. So
You know what I'm saying? We're not playing around about that.
no.
But
So-
yeah, that's part of the new part of my the journey that I have moving forth, and that's exciting too. It's good to know.
Maybe
learn
that's
about.
the new kid adventure that you were talking about,
The
Jay.
new kid and play adventure, yeah.
I think definitely. I think that's part of it because we can be. I think that's something that fans can really can really cling to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
I
that
think
that
they could certainly
that we
relate
won't.
to it.
Yeah, we can relate. You know what I mean? That we're all having health issues of some sort.
Right.
Yep.
But how can we be helpful to one another? I learn a lot talking with fans on that level now. People that have been down the road a little bit further than I have. So that's just about sharing, and that's just another level that we can connect on. And it might be through the music or through those that I don't get a chance to meet personally. And we'll see what the future holds. But I'm excited about that.
Yeah. And speaking of the music, did writing and recording Tin Man play a role in your, I guess, your emotional healing process after this?
Yeah, I think so. I think what was really cool about it was an idea that I had. I was home, after the transplant. I was home, kind of convalescing and getting my strength back and stuff. And it was just an idea that kind of came to me. I kind of envisioned myself as the Tin Man. Everybody remembers the Tin Man
Right.
going
Yeah.
from the Wizard of Oz or from the Wiz, if you will. Um, and so I thought to myself, yeah, I guess I am kind of like the Tin Man. Tin Man needed a heart, and he got one, and it was a happy ending, and that kind of stuff. So I was feeling grateful in that regard. And then I just thought to myself, well, I said maybe there's a way that I can kind of touch on it, and then I wanted to make a point of it to give a shout out to some of my people, and some of the fans' favorites that we lost for a variety of different reasons. Some
Yeah.
were health related, some were to gun violence
Right.
and other issues. But the fact is, I wanted to acknowledge the fact that not only was I getting older, but hip hop was getting older, and our audience was getting older, and the culture was getting older. And I thought that I'd be able to kind of to touch on that in a way that the fans it would connect with fans, and that they would respond in saying, yeah, it wasn't just about what I went through, but it's about what hip hop is going through. I'll always be connected to hip hop, no matter
See, I
what
see.
it is I do. Anything that I've ever done, that wasn't directly a hip hop record
Right.
was, I mean, when I was hosting television shows, it's still I always brought a little hip hop to the flavor. When I do my stand up, I always bring hip hop flavor to my stand up. When I do my voiceover work over the years or any other thing that I create, I'm always going to bring a part of hip hop with me to these different projects.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so
that's because you are hip hop. It's not something you do. It is part of who you are.
I'm gonna say it sounds natural. It doesn't sound like anything
Yeah.
that's forced, and you can tell the difference when people are forcing. I mean,
Yeah.
God, I've done enough. I've done a little voiceover work myself, and you get that whole "How would you like to pay for the vertical chicken cooker?" That's just
Look, but you bring up voiceover work. Like 15 years ago, I got this PS3 game. It's down. Bill, you've been downstairs. You've seen my
I have
game
been,
room.
Yes,
I got this PS3 game in my collection down there. It's called Spec Ops: The Line,
Spec Ops the line. That's
and
right.
I believe you can correct me. I believe Lieutenant Alfonso Adams is the name.
Was that his name?
I believe.
Alfonso sounds familiar, but
Yeah.
yeah, that was me. I was
That is a very dark and intense character
yeah, it was.
within the game. That is not.
No, it's not.
That is not a kid and play adventure. That is not. So how?
But I am an actor, and
Yes.
I have to act. Yeah, that was something we did several years back. Yeah, we, what, actually made a lot of money doing that because it took so long to make it. I remember that game. We did it. We did it for several months. Had many sessions. Then they took a break. Then they said they were reconfiguring like the whole game and stuff. So they took a break of a few months and then came back, and then we had months and months and months more of doing whatever this new incarnation of it was. I'm not a big video game player myself, but I did hear that whole Spec Ops thing was popular at one time.
It was. Yeah.
So yeah, that was something different that I like to do. My voiceover agent at the time, we were always able to kind of do a lot of different things. That was obviously real rough edged and stuff like that. A lot of screaming and yelling and
Yeah.
stuff. I remember when we did that, they always saved the screaming and yelling for like one particular session. You know what I mean? Like you do.
So you weren't damaging your voice.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
got to do that on one particular day. So you can not, you know what I mean? So it's,
Yeah.
when it's that day, it's gonna be like 2 hours of yelling. When you
Drink
leave,
it.
you have a headache. Oh my god.
drink your herbal tea with your lemon to make sure your throat's in good shape.
Oh my god, it's crazy, man. I mean, nobody, whatever. I'm not gonna, I'm not complaining. It's
Right.
a nice way to make a living, but
Right. Yeah.
but that's, once again, that's kind of one of the cool things, that, like, kind of different things that I get to do. And it's, some days it was that, some days it was, there was a show that used to be on the NFL Network that I narrated for several years called Undrafted, and where they would always follow undrafted free agents as they got into the NFL. So that's something I did for years, and that was more of your straight, announcery kind of voice.
Right.
They want like deep voice, on the next Undrafted, presented by Land Rover.
That John Fresenda voice from back in the
But
day.
that's kind of like where my voice is these days. You know what I mean? It's kinda gotten deeper and deep. For the guy that back in the days of like, we're getting funky. Now my voice is kind of naturally at this really low register.
Yeah,
So,
now you're like, we're getting smoky.
I'm like in Lou Rawlsville.
You'll never
doing that,
find.
or doing like characters and stuff. Like
Yeah.
there was stuff I did on a cartoon called Apple and Onion. Uh, I do a character on Apple and Onion called Jerk Chicken.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is he a Rasta?
he's a Jamaican.
Yeah.
He's Jamaican, and he's a piece of chicken. He's a piece of chicken, and he's got the. Yeah, you should check it out. Apple and Onion. The character's name is Jerk Chicken. It
You
was
heard him. Everybody check it out.
yeah, it was a pretty popular episode actually. But yeah, those are the kind of varied, different kind of things that I got to do. Voiceover over the years, and so that stuff is fun too. Because, like I said, they're like different things. And but like I said, sometimes you bring a little hip hop to the thing.
Yeah.
Spec Ops, I'm sure. I might have changed the. I made the. He was the only black soldier, so I probably had him. Throw on some hip hop here or there. You know what I mean?
Jay, you know who was on Apple and Onion?
Kid.
No,
Oh.
and I think your guy from the IT crowd, Richard Iowade.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Richard Iowati's a weirdo. He's a cool
Yeah.
motherfucker. He's a weirdo.
Right. Yeah. I wasn't hip to it, but a friend of mine was one of the writers and one of the producers on it, and he wrote this character for me because he knows
Oh, that's nice.
I've got a Jamaican background, and he thought I'd do well with it, and then we did. We had a great time with it. But yeah, so moving forward, those are really, those are the cool things that I get to do. Now that I feel. I'm getting more and more confident health wise. I've got a great management and agent team in place, and just looking forward to the future. Looking forward to kid stuff. Looking forward to kid and play stuff.
Looking forward to getting a Super 7 reaction figure.
Yeah. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a little research on that, man.
Yeah.
Definitely into that.
I got a weird question. Yeah, you're born and raised in New York. You're now in LA, but our fantasy football season's coming up here. You've been a guest picker on like a Dallas sports radio station, The Ticket.
No, you know what we did? I was we had like a weekly show. We were picking.
How does Dallas come into play? What?
Well, you know what? The Dallas show, the Dallas station, it's called The Ticket. They're like the most not only are they the most popular sports talk station in Dallas, in Texas, they're extremely popular, one of the top stations in the nation. And I got hooked up with them some years ago. They wanted me on for an interview, and they got me on the phone a couple of times. We had some good times, and then I would come through Dallas to do comedy, and then they had me down there in person, and we just kind of struck up a good relationship. And it's something that I maintain with them up to this day. The jocks and the program director, the people that run it, the general manager, they've always been like really cool. So for a couple of years, they had me do a segment called Fridays at 2:30, and we would pick games, and it was a lot of fun. It was kind of weird, but it was funny. You know what I mean? It was more about making jokes and stuff than really picking really trying to win. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm a big football fan, big New York Giants fan from back in the days. So yeah, that was fun. Like I said, it was cool. I'm a big sports fan. So when my celebrity can bring me into situations where I can kind of hang out and do that and hang out with sports people, that's always been real cool. Over the years, we've been really cool with a lot of great famous sports figures, and that's another cool byproduct of being in this business.
Nice.
Jamie's a Jets fan, unfortunately.
Yeah, somebody's got to be.
We're gonna pray for you.
Yeah, please do, because
It ain't gonna work, but we're gonna pray.
no. Look, I got my Knicks championship,
Oh yeah, now you go.
so I got to hold on to that
Yes, we do. Knicks and 5.
all the way through football season. I'm gonna hold on to that.
Oh no, we got to, and even past that, they can't.
Yeah.
take it. We finally got one.
Hell yeah! They say the first one I can remember. I was born in '71, so it's the first one I remember.
Yeah, Well, I remember the other one, but it was too long ago. Sorry.
Yeah,
This one's special.
it really was. And shout out to Wu-Tang Clan for
It was a fairy tale.
Nixon 5.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah, I have a question, and you can answer it or not answer it. I mean, I don't want to. We were talking to Jeff Pearlman a little while ago about his book, his Tupac book. In case anybody didn't remember, only God can judge me. He brought up the night Trouble T. Roy died, and you were there.
I was.
I don't want specifics of the evening because that's not something I want to revisit. But how did things change throughout hip hop, and you guys and your counterparts and Heavy after that happened?
Well, first for your audience to kind of bring them up to speed.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure how much they know. But Trouble T. Roy was one of Heavy D's backup dancers. He was one of the boys.
He was, yes.
Great guy, great performer, very, very close. That Heavy D and his crew were very, very tight knit. And we were all really close because we all did a lot of shows with each other.
Shout out to G-Wiz and Eddie F.
Yeah, this particular tour was headlined by Public Enemy, and it was a tour that Public Enemy was on, Heavy D was on the tour, Kid and Play was on the tour,
DQ.
Digital Underground was on the tour, and I want to say I think was MC Light on some of the dates, and I think Tribe might have been on some of the dates, but those are the main groups that were on the tour. And man, we were just having a great time. Everybody getting along. Tupac was down with Digital Underground at that particular time. He wasn't, Tupac the soloist that he became.
Right.
He was probably about, I don't know, 17 or 18 or something like that. Very, very young.
Still carrying crates. I mean, he wasn't Pac.
He was, yeah. I mean, he was carrying crates. He was doing whatever. He was doing whatever he could to help. A lot of youthful energy, and actually, Tupac and Troy were actually very tight. I think Tupac, being a young man in a hurry, he gravitated toward Troy. Troy was, a few years older, but much more experienced, had been on the road a lot. All through the years with along with Heavy, and we all loved Troy. Troy was a great guy, and he died an accidental death one night. We were in Indianapolis, and it was just so sudden, and it ruined
And a freak
yeah, it was
accident.
a freak accident, and he fell, he got hurt, and they had to put him on life support, and his family ended up taking him off of it shortly thereafter. It ruined the rest of the tour.
Oh, I'm sure.
Heavy tried to come back on tour, come back on the tour a few weeks later, but he couldn't, and then left for good. The vibe was just off. Troy was just one of the guys that everybody liked. You know what I mean? The girls loved him. The guys wanted to hang with him. He was a humble guy, but he was a tough guy. He was a fair guy. He was a funny guy. And I looking back at it now, it was almost like things changed a lot for all of us. It was almost like that was like the end of the innocence. You had that kind of feeling looking back, because Heavy D and the boys as a group was never the same.
Right.
He went on to make other records, but it was never the same.
No, as a fan, they never had the same feel. They were still great.
Yeah, I mean, Heavy is Heavy. Heavy was great.
Right.
Heavy did Now That We Found Love. He had, you know what I'm saying? But it just, knowing them the way I know it, it wasn't the same. You know what I mean? You were doing it because that's your job. You know what I
Right.
mean? Some of the love and the luster had been lost. And I think a lot of us, felt that way. You know what I mean? It was just really, really sad. And it was like I said, it was like a line. It was the end of the innocence in that, like, um, this was a job,
Right.
and the tour had to go on, and everybody's responsibilities had to go on, and
Right.
this
Yeah. The show must go on. Yeah. Really.
and the show always does go on,
Yeah.
with or without us. And I think that's what it showed us. And it's something that I think those that were around and are still around to this day, remember. It was a real tragedy, and I remember Tupac was very upset. Like I said, that was a new but very strong friendship and admiration that he had for Troy,
Right.
and he took it hard. I remember seeing him in the days after that, and even back in New York, he was very upset. And then his I'm not saying that's the only reason why he went down the road he went. I mean,
Right.
Tupac was the quintessential young man in a hurry,
Right.
and he was in a hurry then, and he just speeded up after that. But I do know that had definitely had an effect on him, and he had already suffered through quite a bit of loss to
Right.
death in his young life.
Hmm.
But we all felt it, and he was a really, really good dude, and it was something that it was very different than losing some of our friends that we lost later on that had
Right.
lived a whole bunch more life. This Troy was young, we were all young,
Yeah.
so that one definitely hit hard. And I remember, uh, I spoke with Jeff. He interviewed me for his book,
Hmm.
and I know we did speak about that because we were there, and Pac was there, and we all kind of closed ranks, and kind of I remember us being at the hospital that night. Everybody kind of slept at the hospital that night, just hoping for some positive word that never came.
Right.
And yeah, that's part of this. That was young people learning, just a real hard lesson. And I
Right.
don't know, it was an accident,
Yeah.
and it happened. People were horsing around, and it was an accident.
Yeah.
And
And that's one of the biggest reasons I ask, because it is something that happened. It's not like somebody did something.
no,
There was no shooting. There was no assault. There was no.
No.
no,
It was just something that happened.
it was an accident. It
Yeah.
was terrible, terrible, tragic accident. And like I said, we all learned at a young age that
No one's
You
promised
learn life
tomorrow,
is
man.
precious. Really, I mean, that's what you.
it is, but the wheel keeps turning.
Hmm.
Everything, nothing stops.
Right.
Nothing stops.
Time waits for no man. Yeah.
Nothing stops, and we all had to try to figure out what we finished out the tour.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the same. You know,
Right. No.
I mean,
I'm sure a lot of growing up happened
yeah,
a
I'm sure,
lot quicker
and
than
I'm sure Play would say the same thing.
Hmm.
I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
Everybody. When I say everybody was cool, that was, those are the tours, those Public Enemy tours. Those were like, we did those. We did like 3 or 4 of those in a row in the early '90s, and everybody was super tight on these tours, man.
Right.
Everybody, different groups hung out. You know what I mean? And once we got off stage, everybody was, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I might hang with Play, but I might hang with these other, I hang with Play all the time. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
you know what I'm saying? You find me in somebody else's hotel room kicking it, or somebody else's dressing room kicking
Yeah.
it, all type stuff. But that's the kind of vibe and camaraderie that we had for one another. So that all got shattered, just like bam,
Right.
like
Yeah.
that.
I didn't mean to bring everything down. I also didn't mean to just
Well, you did,
randomly
but I mean,
promote Jeff's book, but it's an incredible book. You guys should read it. No one can judge me. The Tupac story.
yeah. Yeah. Look, Jeff's a great author, and he always picks the really complex and unique subjects.
Because he's still a journalist. He tells a story. Right?
No, he definitely does. And
Yeah.
if you follow him on Instagram, he stands by that, and
Yeah.
he always has his journalist hat on.
Yeah.
And I don't agree with every one of Jeff's takes,
Yeah. You don't have to. They're
but he
his, not
but he
yours.
always but he's always worth a listen.
Yeah.
And he's somebody that I check in with on the regular, definitely.
All right. Let's move away from that now. But again, you and I talked, and we were talking about how you guys really didn't have any issues with anyone. There was no big beef back and forth, but there was a 2 Live,
Yeah, we had a little
a guilt by association, if you will.
yeah, we had a little tiff with him, a little tiff with Vanilla Ice back in the days. But that's when those things got handled. That's when those things got handled by
On wax.
making records on wax,
Yeah.
if you will. And the the Luke
Was that
thing.
next? Was that next question?
Yeah, we made a song. Yeah, they had done a joint about them. I mean, about us. There was like this series of records that Luke used to do called "I Ain't Bullshitting," and
I bullshit. Yeah.
part 2, part 3, stuff like that. So I forget which part it was, but one of them, a couple of them, he was talking about us and whatnot. So we responded to both him and Vanilla Ice on a song we did called "Next Question."
And you guys didn't do anything to spark Luke's ire. It was wasn't it something Salt and Pepper said, but you were there.
Yeah, we were just kind of hanging out.
Okay, yeah.
And I think Salt and Pepper are very, they're outspoken in terms
Well,
of
yeah,
they want women to be perceived,
yeah. The queens from Queens, yeah.
not be objectified, and
Right.
that was kind of antithetical to what Luke and them were doing at that time. BET program, it might have been like Teen Summit or something like that. And Cheryl and them were just stating their opinion. That wasn't their cup of tea. They didn't really dig how the women were being portrayed and objectified in those Luke videos and songs and stuff like that. And we were kind of in the back goofing off, not really. We weren't. I don't even think we were seconding that emotion. We were kind of having our own conversation or
Yeah,
whatever.
the question wasn't posed to you.
No, yeah, I think we would. At that time, we would have had a whole nother different answer. You know what I'm saying? Coming from a male perspective, but I think it was probably like more than anything, like kind of guilt by association. We didn't defend him, so we must be against him.
Right.
I think that's how it got started, where he said something about us. So then, I felt the need to, cook up something with the help of with Play and Pete Rock, who produced Next Question, and I thought that kind of addressed it, and then addressed a little issue with Vanilla Ice, who at the time was saying stuff that he could dance better than any kid or Play. So we took that to what I mean. We took
Well,
that
yeah.
challenge, so to speak,
And
and
at that time, if you don't stick up for yourself,
yeah,
well, then you're a sucker. I mean,
And then sometimes we'd run into Luke and his crew like in the airports and stuff like that, and our crew, our security and their security would kind of walk past each other and growl and shit like that. But, nothing ever went down. And then we had some mutual friends. That thing got squashed because we had like mutual friends, people that hung out with both of us individually. And so, they just kind of said, "Yo, man, it's kind of stupid. Y'all should just kind of squash it." So, I remember running into Luke one time. I want to say we were in Atlanta, but we were in a strip club. He was in a strip club. We were in the same strip club, and or I think he'd already been. Somebody told me he was there, and at that time, I think some time had passed, and I was like, "Man, this shit is stupid." So. I sent over a bottle of champagne to his table. He had some ladies with him and shit like that, and then he sent me back one, and then we just squashed it. And since then, we see each other anytime we're rolling through the South or whatever like that, or we're in the Miami area. Everything is like all cool. We laugh about it now. You know what I mean? Same thing with Vanilla Ice. I mean, we were on that I Love the '90s tour.
Right.
mine for over a decade. And we used to talk about stuff like that and laugh and talk about how we just left it on wax and now Ice would always invite us up on stage to perform with them. Toward the end, everybody gets up there and starts freestyling and stuff like that. And, that's yeah. I mean, it was something to laugh at.
Right.
At the
Now.
time,
Now.
you want to defend your honor as a rapper, but that's what we did back then.
Right.
And we left it at that.
A huge trend right now for returning legends is like locking in with one single producer for an entire project. Nas had Hit Boy and Common had Pete Rock when they came back. You guys obviously had Herbie back in the day. If Kid and Play were to lock in the studio right now with one producer, and you had your choice of anybody to drop a brand new album this year, who's getting that call?
Well, I mean, who we would want it to be if we were talking about a Kid and Play record, we'd love it to be Herbie. And to be honest, from what I'm gathering from conversations I've had with Herbie over the last year or so, he's probably more disposed to it now than he has been in the past.
Well, that's good.
In other years, he would be like, nah, I don't feel like it, or he just didn't have it in him, or just didn't feel like it, or didn't feel like competing with himself. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got the track record. Why?
As accomplished as he is, you know what I'm saying? I can see how he's felt like that for many years, but I know I've been on him. I've been hammering at him just to get back into it, whether or not he wanted to produce Kid and Play or whatever. But if we had our wish, I'm sure Play feel the same way. He'd be the right guy to put that bring that magic back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he's talking like he might be interested in a way that I haven't heard him speak that way in years. So
Nice.
it might be closer than we all think.
Than we all think, or than you all think?
Than all of us. I mean,
Okay, I'm just checking.
2 years ago, I would have said it wouldn't happen. But now now I'm not so sure.
Never say never.
There's hope. We have hope.
Yeah, why are you gelling me?
I knew you were going to get that reference in there.
I hope you're telling me.
Some of the reasons. So as we're gonna wind down and let you get going here, what is next for Kid? What do you have going on that the posse needs to know about and jump on and support?
Yeah, well, we're like I said, we've got this week is Heartiversary week. This is 1 year since I received my heart transplant
And started your second life.
transplant. Yeah. So that date is a special date, and so we're just trying to take all week to kind of take stock and really feel grateful, and also to take an opportunity to drop a new video. The video
Yep.
for Tin Man, which is the original Tin Man, which is dropping on August 19th, and it'll be available. On YouTube, and the song is available on all streaming platforms. We urge everybody to vibe with it, get into the lyrics.
The song as heard on the Mr. Throwback Thursday podcast. That's it.
Heard on that Thursday show, and also too, just kind of thanking everybody that's been involved with getting me here to this point. It's This year has gone like really quickly. I can't believe it, but we're very glad. We're very grateful, and we're excited about the things that are ahead. So there's music in our future. Like I said, there's Kid and Play stuff in the works as well. There are jokes to be told on stage. And there's believe it or not, going through a heart transplant, there are actually some funny aspects to it. Besides being at death's door, other than that, there are actually some funny things that we can
Is
talk
there more Funhouse with Kid and Play podcast in the future?
Good question. There is a possibility of that. It was just so difficult at that particular time to keep it going with us both in the same in the same place.
But as you can see,
So it worked best. You know?
as you can see, Bill is in New York. I'm in Virginia. You can make it work
I know.
if you want to make it work.
And we did. We just didn't. We didn't feel like it had the same oomph as when
Right.
we were in the studio together. So in a perfect world, that's what we'll try to do. But if not, we'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll do it better than we did it last time. I think we could do it if we're doing it in two different places. We could do it better than we did it last time. So
Yeah.
I think we'll make an attempt at that in the not too distant future. The people that we were involved with doing that have been reaching out and asking us to try to put that back together. So that's definitely on the board to investigate and to
Nice.
possibly get back to, because we had fun doing it. We had some
It seemed like it.
yeah, and then a lot of times when we didn't have guests, we would just kind of chop it up and just talk about stuff and what's going on or what we did. Play tells great stories too, and we still know how to make each other laugh, which is
And that's important.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
said,
And people like seeing us together. They like seeing us laugh together and stuff like that, and we enjoy it as well. So that's something that we definitely try to put that together again in some form or fashion. But yeah, to your point, I mean, what's the phrase people use like right? Don't let perfection be the enemy of something. You know what I mean? So if we can't get it where we're actually in the same place, don't not do it. Try to do it in a way.
Perfection should not be the enemy of progress. That's for sure.
Is that it? Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
yeah. No, see, we're different. Ours has always been remote, and
Right.
it's when Bill comes to visit, or if we're in the same place. That's a
then we
special
have- yeah, I was
occasion.
gonna say, then we have technical difficulties.
And it's off. And it's off. And it can't work.
It's different. I mean, I've known him for like 40 years, but it's different.
So
Yeah,
what
but,
do you need
but
to
your
do?
point, the fact that you started that way, kind of two different things. Yeah, and you created a vibe that way, and
Right.
that could be done. I think ours was different because we started together.
Exactly.
We went to that we were, and that first season after we did that, we were still trying to figure it out, and and it just felt a little clunkier than it had previously. So, but there's a way to do that. I agree. There is a way to do that.
Hopefully, he gets in touch with Super 7, and then there's
Yes.
play figures behind both of them.
Yes, I will put them up here on my shelves. My Radio Raheem,
That's
my
on the
Wu Tang. I got.
Yeah,
You need to be here.
You got your own hip hop museum going on there.
I
buddy.
do. I got S&P up here.
Got-
You
you
know,
got
I got the Funkos up here. I got.
Yeah, you got stuff. Yeah, we're part of that Funko world, man. Who knew? It's very
Now we just gotta get you part of the
that was an honor too.
Super 7 world. Talk to Kwam.
Yeah, it's on. It's on. Trust me,
He's the man in the know.
he's Mr. Toy.
All right. Well, thank you very much for sitting down with us, kid. We will always have an open seat for you. Anytime you want to swing by, talk anything you want. We are here. The chair is open.
And when
Hey, guys, I
and
appreciate
when the new music comes,
Yeah,
we
yeah,
will
yeah,
be
yeah.
happy
yeah.
to.
Yeah, there'll be new music coming this fall. I guarantee you.
We will spread that stuff like chicken shit.
No, man, you guys have been very, very helpful to this point. I want to thank the fans. Tin Man, the remix, the video's been out. It's been getting a great response on YouTube. I think we're over like 70,000 views. Doing it the old-fashioned way. So we appreciate people checking us out. We got the Tin Man original video coming right around the corner. It's Heart Anniversary Week. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to be here with you guys. Glad to be with the fans. I appreciate you guys watching and listening. Keep doing it. There's more to come, and I appreciate you guys supporting me and supporting Kid and Play all this time. Please continue to do so. We will not let you down.
Hey, you keep putting it out.
You haven't for
And we'll
40
keep listening.
years. So
Let's not start now, right?
no, absolutely. The one and only Christopher Kid Reid joining us here on Mr. Throwback Thursday. I didn't even remember what episode number it was.
655. Yeah.
Yeah, 655 weeks. 655 weeks of doing this nonsense. Can you believe that? That's a lot of weeks.
It's a couple.
That's right. Well, I'm glad to be a part of it. 650.
And we're happy to have you, sir.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
play that. We're gonna play that number.
Uh-huh.
We'll run out tonight before we're done.
So you can't play that number. That's not in the budget.
And that
That's in the budget.
is what we call a full circle moment.
That's real. That's a call.
All right, Bill, throw us the break.
We're going to, one more time, Christopher Kid Reid joining us. We are going to take our one and only break for the show. And when we come back, we will have, I'm assuming, Bill Reid's lyrics on Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 655.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, sir.
Will that work? That'll work for
Yes,
you?
most definitely.
That's
And if
what's
you
up.
don't know what Bill Reid's lyrics is, oh my God. Did he tell you what this
I did not tell him, no.
He plays
No.
this piano music in the back, and he'll send me, and I don't know what's coming. He'll send me probably the dirtiest lyrics he can find.
Okay.
And I have to read them kind of like I'm just doing, Paul Harvey's The Rest of the Story or Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy.
It's over this.
So yeah, you're going to hear stuff like this, and then Bill will say things like, I've got the anal tongue darts, that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's wonderful.
Yeah. No, that's a bit. That's good.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah.
But yes, anytime you want to come back, sir, really.
Appreciate that, y'all.
You got my number, you got my email, you hit me up. I got you.
I sure will, bro.
All right.
Thank you
All right, take care.
so much for joining us.
Praise.
Bye. All right. Let me get this worked up for the next. Throw us back over here where it is as unprofessional looking as possible. Let me see.
I know I say it every interview. It's going to take a damn good interview for that to replace as my favorite.
Yes. Here. Talk to the people because I really got to take a leak.
Well, it's been 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
We're on with him. I thought it was only going to be an hour. When
Yeah.
he was like,
it's
yeah,
been a
I can give you an
while.
hour. Yeah.
All right. I'll be right back.
Okay. So what did we think of Christopher Kid Reid on our show? Fantastic stuff. Fantastic stuff. Once Jamie comes back, we're going to do this Bill Reid's lyrics thing, and then we're going to go to bed. But God, Kid was awesome. Kid was absolutely awesome. And I've heard his stand-up comedy is really, really good. So if he comes around, I don't know if there's any listing of his stand-up comedy tour or anything like that. See if there's anything here. He did. It was, God, he's been doing the stand-up comedy for about 13 years. I mean, there's stuff that goes back 13 years on here. So, yeah. So keep your eyes peeled for comedy shows in your area. If you see the name Christopher Reid and they put a kid in front of it, then you should probably go see that. And such a compliment from him to say that we were the first ones who really got the Tin Man video. And I remember when we did the Tin Man video because maybe it's because of the fact that I am in the medical field, but it really did strike a chord with me. But he's brilliant. He's an absolutely brilliant performer. And yeah, the official music video, Tin Man Remix official music video. That's got 71,000 views.
What's that?
The Tin Man Remix official music video has 71,000 views. So
He was dead on.
yeah, as I figured he would be.
Good Lord. I had to go.
All right, let's do this Bill Reid's lyrics thing. And
Yeah, hold on.
get
I
the hell outta here.
gotta fix some things real quick.
Okay.
I gotta find a BRL because I don't have. You guys don't know. It's a lot of stuff. Shit's fucked up while you're gone.
But we're back now.
God damn it. All right. Goodbye overlay doesn't exist. The movie credits don't exist. Technical difficulties don't exist. Awesome.
Yeah. Hopefully by next week they'll exist.
Maybe. Let me find the Burl alternative video. Replace video with a video that doesn't exist. So upload from disk. Jesus fucking Christ. Let's see. Not logos. There's a folder called video stuff. There it is. I need the one that says Bill Reid's lyrics. I don't have the alternative one there. So I have to come over here and go BRL. Nope. How about Bill? Hey, I've got your EV Mux screen here. Remind me to send it to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Bill's allow me to reintroduce myself. Bill Reid's lyrics. Bill Reid's lyrics. Where is the alternative? Bill altern. What I may just have to do. Bill Reid's lyrics alternate. Let's see. Is that a video or is that just an audio? I don't even know. Where did it go? Jesus, people. If you were only here. Let's picture a dock. We can get rid of that. Let's remove. Yes. Okay, so what we're just going to do is I'm going to take my chances. John is right.
No, it's Bill's fault.
I do not work for EV Mux.
Maybe you should. We wouldn't have these problems.
Maybe the IT department should.
Yes. All right. There's that. We're just going to throw. Okay. Watch this. Ready?
Yes.
Shri. Who's your mama?
But it starts with Bill.
I'm Bill S. Preston. It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence. Take Tylenol for any headaches. Midol for any cramps.
Most people probably don't listen to the lyrics, but they should.
Welcome to Bill Reid's Lyrics.
Hello. This is Bill Reid's Lyrics. It is an educational discussion of artistic expression and creativity of modern lyricists. Bill may recite explicit or offensive language. Professional supervision is suggested for sensitive listeners. The average views and opinions within these lyrics are not necessarily those of Mr. Throwback Thursday or its hosts, and will be in the area of 160 WPMs. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, humor-heavy, and just right. Thanks.
And welcome back to Mr. Throwback Thursday, episode 655. It is indeed time for Bill Reid's Lyrics. The hat has been changed. It is unofficially sponsored by Buckbald Brewing. And
wish they knew it.
Yes. And it has been a long night. So let's get to
it has.
Bill Reid's Lyrics.
It's been an awesome night, though. I would say it's been one of my favorite nights.
It really has been.
Okay, don't mind that. Don't mind anything at this point because
no.
Jesus H fuck.
That's why I'm glad we're an audio show on most of the podcast things. And there's
seriously
only video feeds. All right, my friend, what you got for me?
I don't even know. Hold on. I have to come up here to the stuff that we weren't doing to do the stuff that we are doing. And to copy this here and come over here to the private chat and go here and blow.
And there it is.
Bam.
Oh, we talked about this a couple weeks ago.
Amazing, right?
All right. Where am I going?
I should probably open it so I can tell you.
It would help.
I have verse 1.
Okay, so there we go. All
So-
right, and we're going to the chorus, I'm assuming.
Of course we are.
Let's do it.
Then with no type of ado,
None.
Sesame Street Grover styley, whether nearer or further, we will cue what we affectionately call the motherfucking piano.
There once was a girl I knew named Bridget. She asked me, was my dick a grown man or a midget? Of course, I had to show her all my balls. Ring-ding-a-ling. I whipped out my Whopper. But we weren't at Burger King. Nothing more said. She grabbed it like a vice grip and asked the DOC, do you mind if I nibble this? Nope. I took her back to the studio and she ate up on the dock like a Cheerio. I told the bitch, oh, please don't bite me. Then she made me scream when she grabbed the balls tightly. So I slapped the bitch for going out like a sucker. My dick was in her mouth, so she bit the motherfucker. To make her stop, I pulled up on her extensions and left Jimmy standing at attention. The look in my eyes said, bitch, you are goner. Now I think back to the day I should have peed on her.
Why does that sound like a cool Keith lyric?
It really does. It really does. Now I know why Doc didn't release it.
You heard him talk about it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I just got the
what the fuck are you still doing recording?
I got the CM Punk watch tap. So it is time.
I'm sure, it is not my fault.
No. And I was not about to shut anybody up.
Let's just jump to let's do friends of the show and then do patrons and run.
Okay, friends of the show. Good God. Okay, here we are. Friends of the show. Def Rugs, defrugs.com. Twitter, Instagram at Def Rugs. Handmade high quality hip hop themed rugs. Brought to you by the original Ruggy Fresh Marshall Fox and his business associate, the Green Eyed Bandit, Eric Sermon.
Indeed.
Bittersweet Candy Company. Candy that is handmade, small batch, different, and
no.
Delicious.
Of course I have it.
Check them out on Facebook. Order at bittersweetcandy.com. Throwback is the code to save 10%. Nelson Mike's hip hop themed and pop culture themed items. MLTDMICS.com. Use our code MR Throwback Thursday for 10% off of your order. Super 7. We've got a special landing page set up just for you. Super 7's dropping all the heaviest hitters of the games. And eventually, hopefully, they'll have a kid and play set too.
That's what we're hoping.
Go to super7.com/MR Throwback Thursday and order your Super 7 figures. Don't forget MrThrowbackThursday.com. Leave us a voice message. Click that microphone. Let us know what you thought of the kid interview.
Yeah.
Follow us on all of our socials. You know where we're at this point.
We're down here.
Twitter, Instagram. Go to YouTube. If you were on YouTube and you weren't subscribed, you didn't know we were talking to him tonight. So smash that subscribe button. I haven't gotten to that point yet because we're tired. Smash the subscribe button and then click the bell just to make sure that you're aware when we go live.
Yes.
In honor of John, shout-outs time. Shout-outs go to... fuck it. We'll start with John. John Henderson and Sarah Henderson and Gail Dunmeyer and Manny Baez and Hugo Gonzalez and Sanket Patel, the Shrieking Warrior Jennifer Buchanan, Jason Heath, Jessica Walker, Shane Hatley, Ahoy Mateys Captain Ricky Schnarr, Mr. Cranky Pants Brian Hollenbeck, the legendary Kevin Van Buren, Robert Jeffroy, Kate Harvey, Catherine Liska, Jessica Walker, Lion Linwoodell, Wanda Calamia, and Gunther. They all get announced because... I got 5 on it.
Or more.
Become a patron at patreon.com, and you can be announced as well. Go to patreon.com/MRTBT. Don't forget our friends Anthony Imran and Rugboy over the Jock and Nerd podcast and Talkin' Thai over on What's the Word podcast, as well as DJ B, the hardest working turntablist in the world, on It's Fresh Radio, where you can get the world premiere of each episode of our show, 9 p.m. East on Wednesday nights, and you get that Fresh Radio app for your phone. We're also on Wild One Radio at wildoneradio.com, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, all that good stuff.
And pay your dues if you're in the football league.
Yes. Make comments. Go to the YouTube feed for tonight's show. Make comments on this video about what you thought of our interview with Christopher Kidd.
Or on Thursday when it comes out.
That too. So
because his new video is coming out Wednesday.
Yes.
We come out on Thursday.
Yes, and watch my socials on Wednesday for probably a posting of the old video, as well as a reminder of his heartiversary, because very important.
Yes.
Go find us. Next week, we're back on our regular schedule. Go find us and share the good word. Until then, take good care of yourselves. Wash your hands.
Wash your butts.
And until next time, keep it classic.
And like Cool Keith said, bingo, bango, Lego my steel ego. Throwing rhymes in spirals like Joe Klecko.
Joe Klecko wasn't a quarterback.
He was not. He was a lineman.
And always remember,
new school stale, old school fresh.